Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Drop Frames. Oh, I thought Zeke was licking himself, but he's brooming. Okay. No, I was very confused what I was seeing there, so I'm glad I did a double check. You got to take care of your beard. Everyone knows that.
Yes, you must. You must, or your beard takes care of you. I don't know what that means.
Well, I think it's... Wait, why can't we hear Ko? Ko, are you muted?
There we go.
Okay. What were you saying?
I was gonna say I'm gonna be catching up to you guys soon. You can see I got the
the
unshaven part.
You're doing it.
Yeah, but all it takes is one passing comment from the wife to make you rethink. Like she's just like walking by me one day when I'm shaving in the bathroom a few days ago, and she's like, "Yeah, the full beard is so much softer," and just walks out, and I was like, "Wait, you want the full, you're not like
what the hell? That's
you want the full?
Your wife
what
do you
want?
That golden. What the hell?
And no, she just straight up. She's like, yeah, actually, like, I prefer you with the full beard. I like the full beard. If you're gonna have a beard, I like the full beard. And I was like, okay, there, let's go. All right, full beard it is.
Well, the not so subtle hint.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but like, that's how we knew Ko. That's how I met him. He was.
Oh yeah, the big bearded.
He was
the bushy
beard down to here.
Oh God, hobo beard.
Yeah,
I wonder if some of your emotes still have that.
Oh, they do. In fact, funny enough, so the high emote, the Ko high emote, if you look at the Ko high emote now, it has like a smaller beard, but for the longest time, it had like the big, like down.
Wait a minute. Did Julia trim up the high beard?
She did. She trimmed up on multiple emotes. Actually, we trimmed up the big beard once we did that.
Wait, so are you going full blown, or are you gonna keep it?
Well, the hair.
Let's talk
the hair
about
is,
beards here at this.
Yeah, let's talk about beards and hair. So the hair's going back out, and the beard is going big. I don't know. Like I kind of like what Zeke's got going on, because it's a big beard, but it doesn't look like an out of control beard.
Yeah.
And the thing about my biggest beard was an uncageable beast.
Yes.
I did not do anything with that, and it was there were birds in it.
Yeah.
And that was that kind of beard. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it all grow out. There's always when you're growing out your beard, especially if you come from a goatee, there's always that one shave where you finally get everything to the same length. So you kind of like you have to there's that one shave where it's like you just do everything finally after you've been waiting for months to let everything grow out. So when I get to that point is when I'm really going to kind of decide what I want to do. Either keep like a full but kind of tight beard, or maybe grow it out. Maybe get like some Zeke length stuff. Yeah. And the thing is I got to admit, and I'm still wrestling with this. I'm still dealing with it. But longer it grows out, the more the gray just becomes so obvious.
Yeah, but gray's
and
cool. Gray's in.
Gray, you know what? That's the thing. I'm kind of like there was a part of me that was thinking back in the day,
I'm gray as hell,
doing something with it. But these days, especially, and I think especially with the style of audience that I have at this point, I'm thinking, just let it roll.
Just gray it up. Yeah, gray's good. Gray's good. It looks weird when it's just like super black after just being dyed. I think it looks terrible. Whenever that you can totally tell.
There was a
it looked like
streamer that will remain nameless.
Yes,
there's a streamer that will remain nameless that is older than me that I watched a lot when I was growing up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Very obvious whenever the dye week came up, and I always remember seeing that. And like seeing the dye week and just being like, there's always this sort of like, you don't need to do that, And I think if I were to do something like that, that's exactly how everyone else would feel. Where it's just like, dude, you don't. It's just
it looks silly.
You don't need to do that.
It looks silly.
Well, I'm just wondering. We talk about this in our house a lot when we see like, primarily like older women celebrities, but I mean some men too, where like no one wants to get old. And it like we just talk about like how much worse it looks when you try so hard to prevent it, Now,
funny enough,
like I don't mind going gray. I don't mind looking my age, and I it's just I think I have a different mindset where looking your age is cool to me. I guess
I got to say this. I like the latest Kiryu. Just saying. Like that makes everything a little easier. Like getting gray with like one of my role models, you know?
Oh, I see what
Like
you're saying.
I don't know if the latest Kiryu is like that's the first time we've seen him like full gray.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that and I was like, damn, he looks good. Like, all right, man. Like this is
the first time in the timeline where Kiryu didn't get younger.
I know, right?
In the game, yeah, sure.
Pretty
God
much.
damn.
Pretty much.
That makes sense.
Because we were talking about that the game before. What did we just play before? Not
Like a
not
dragon.
the most recent one. Not Like a Dragon. It was.
The man who erased his name, Gaiden?
Yes. The man who erased his name. It was Like a Dragon. I apologize, but not Infinite Wealth. The other one.
Sure.
And we were talking about like how old he actually is. Like because he was born in a year, and you can talk about how old he is. And dude looks, 27, and he's like, it's like 50s. He's in his fucking 50s.
Yeah, dude. People forget all the time. I'll be playing Like a Dragon, and like the lead guy Kasuga will be talking to some like hot little love interest in the game, and of course chat's just going along, and then every so often you get that person in chat where it's like, she's like 20. Isn't he like 45? Isn't he like all? Yeah, and it's like, yeah, Ichiban's like 44 years old, canon. So, and I mean, yeah, looks great. Doesn't act his age at all, but I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, he's an old dude, man.
Yeah.
So every time
every
time in the game, if you're playing it and Ichiban like it has like a romantic interest in someone, picture this, because this is almost 44.
There you go. Yeah, you got the.
This is harder to picture with someone like young and hot, right?
Yeah. Zeke, you got the Jason Kelsey going on right now. You're hip. This is what is all the rage.
Hold on.
The who?
The Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm googling it. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
the
Taylor
Swifty
Swift
guy?
Well, no, that's the Swifty guy's brother.
Oh, okay.
Still just as cool though. Some might even say cooler.
Oh.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, that's the first time I've ever heard his name out loud. I wasn't sure if it was Kelsey.
100% the same.
You guys are just not cool, man. I can't.
Isn't there like a big game today?
There is a big game today. Yeah, the Super Bowl is today. I know all about it. If you not the sports aspect of it, but the pop culture aspect of it.
I was somewhat decimated today. I took my oldest to a taekwondo lesson.
Oh,
and the guys that run the dojo, super cool guy. He's like, big into anime and stuff like that. And they're winding up their lesson, and like walks over and he's just like, yeah, man, who you rooting for in the game today?
Uh-oh.
I was just like, like,
what did you go with? What was the answer?
Funny enough, I was like, okay, I remember hearing this in the news. I was like, the Chiefs?
There you go. Okay.
And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going for the 49ers. And I was like, oh, wait, San Francisco's in there? 49ers. I'm going for the 49ers.
I have to go. If I was going to root, I would have to root for the 49ers by default, because growing up in Montana.
You're a Joe Montana fan?
Joe Montana.
Yeah.
It's like this huge thing, and all the kids, like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on, and Montana doesn't have a professional sports team, and there's no professional NFL or sports teams for 5 states around, like North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. No sports teams, no professional sports teams. So you kind of like have to default to your parents' one, or if you're a kid, you're like, that guy's name is Montana.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's hilarious that you say that. It's almost like teams are hereditary, because I was just about to say, like, my dad loves the 49ers. I grew up. That's where I know. That's why I like the 49ers, was because my dad was a huge 49ers fan. We were both born in California. So it's like that was kind of like our go-to team. And that's why I like the 49ers, pretty much. It's a family
hereditary.
fandom. Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone in Europe is like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah. Or you could be like my kid Rowan. I'm talking to him on the way back, because we were talking about, I was explaining to him what the Super Bowl was. And he goes, wait, Super Bowl? I was like, yeah, Super Bowl. And he goes, bowl? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh no, I thought they were playing Super Bowl. what are they playing? And I was like, no, they're playing football. Yeah, not Super Bowl. And it's Super Bowl. And he's like, do they play in the bowl? And I was like, no, but that's a good question. They play in like an arena and they get a Super Bowl. He's like, what makes it super? And I was like, you know what? You're asking way too many good questions that are way above my pay grade.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be an interesting one. There's a lot of things around this Super Bowl. I think last year they had 140 million people, and this year they're projecting 200 million because of all
funny
of
enough, 78 million of them are Swiftie fans.
Yeah, it's all Taylor Swift influence on that shit. I saw a bunch of video footage of like Vegas last night, and it just looks like a mess. Like they're saying it looks like night and day even compared to the big F1 event that they had earlier this year in Vegas. And it's just like wall to wall people no matter where you go.
Dude, and funny enough, we were listening to the radio last night, and the guy was doing the whole like, just getting random audio clips from passerbyers. It's in Vegas, right? In Vegas, yes. River on the street.
Yep.
And after they did that segment, the guy comes back on. He's like, hey, I just need to make sure you understand this. Like for this segment, we talked to about 38, 39 people. And he's like, 15 of them could not name the two people playing that were going to the Super Bowl. And one of them specifically said, I won't be able to tell you the end score, but I'll be able to tell you how many times Taylor Swift popped up on screen. Yeah. It's just like, damn.
It's a wild year for the NFL.
Wow.
Stuff. Yeah.
That's okay.
Pretty absurd with everything going on. So yeah, that'll be the talk of at least the American news cycle for the next probably 48 hours, depending on how it all goes down.
Honestly, it puts the people running the whole thing in such a weird position, because in the back of their mind now, they're going, okay, we need to plan on getting the camera on Taylor Swift as much as possible. We need to make sure that it's talked about regularly. Like, they have to keep those people interested.
Oh yeah.
That are not there at all to watch the actual thing they're putting on.
Sure.
And they have to like come up with strategies and ways to do that. And it's such a funny world we live in sometimes.
Yeah.
And then Usher's halftime.
Yeah. For the elder millennials. Yeah. See, exactly.
Usher. I know. Right. Exactly. I was going to say, I was like, that's the first time I actually knew a Super Bowl halftime show guy in like 10 years. It's like, you mean it's not Ski Wonk and Woo Woo? Really?
Did you see Ski Wonk and Woo Woo though?
They were great. They were so good.
Amazing.
I love.
They were straight philanderu. I know. It was fantastic.
For FRFR. Do you say FRFR or not?
You just say, when you text it, you say FRFR. Right, no, it's just for real. That's
just for real.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And then like a period at the end of the sentence, you have to say no cap.
Yeah, no cap on a stack.
Okay.
It's saying FR. I wasn't sure because
it could go either way. Like with LOL, you say, because people say LOL now, or some people also say LOL.
People say LOL and LOL now, but when we first started doing it, when LOL first was made, if people said it out loud, they would literally be beaten on the spot by anyone around that could hear them. It took like a solid 3 or 4 years, before people actually started saying. That's where FRFR is now. You can't say it yet. It's not cool to say yet. You can type it.
Yeah.
You can't say it yet.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could start, if it would be cool just to go fur. Just fur.
I think it would, at that point, it just sound like you're stuttering. Like, no cap.
Like you have a speech impediment or something. It doesn't sound good.
Just imagine to be like, yo, you look great.
I don't want to be that guy. Remember when Zeke used to be inclusive? Now he makes fun of people with stutters, and I just can't watch him anymore.
It's really terrible.
Yeah, I
can't believe it.
It's awful. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but first it's Zeke making fun of stutters here. I'm playing with JP last night, and this is rampant racism.
That was you.
What's happening?
Was you.
That
was
not me.
Dude, Zeke, we're playing last night. Me, Ko, Gassy Mexican, and Dad's Gaming. We're playing Helldivers. And Ko's muted, and for some reason, he unmutes, and all we hear while we're just playing the game is Mexican. And I'm just like, What?
Here is what my stream heard. My stream heard was I'm playing with JP, Bruce Green, and Gassy
Bruce,
Mexican.
Sorry, not Dan.
But the thing is I had them muted, and then I unmuted right at the end. So what they heard is this is what they heard. Mexican.
Yeah. And like we all just kind of didn't say anything, and the Max goes, "What the fuck?"
I honestly,
it was so funny.
if it were me in that game, I would have honestly thought that your wife came in and was like,
"What do you want for
"Do
dinner?"
you want Thai or Mexican tonight?" Mexican.
It was really funny. I don't know. I'm sure there's a clip out there from Co-Stream, but
and then that became a running joke for the evening.
Well, then, because Max just had a terrible time for the next like 4 or 5
Dude.
games.
I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Max because I felt like he was like really trying to do well, and all of us were not.
Well, we were just playing poorly.
We were just playing poorly. That's right, and playing around also.
Yeah, he just died nonstop.
And then just to stick it to us at the very end, he got like most kills in the very last thing we played.
Yeah.
He's like, look, guys, if you just pay attention.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Helldivers was fun.
That game is man.
We'll be talking about it for
angry
sure.
It's down. I'm so angry.
Yeah. What did they?
Real quick.
What did they take it down, by the way, for? Just a.
Okay, so they took it down for 2 major issues. Apparently, they're going to help work with the matchmaking, and then second of all, they are going to be putting in a stopgap or making it so you actually get the stuff that you earn if you crash when you're leaving a round.
Oh, great.
Yes,
that's awesome.
So they are apparently like they're very. Also, by the way, real quick, are we ready to transition to games?
Yeah.
Okay, good, great. Huge
Before you
shout
go
out.
to the game.
Oh, okay.
Before you go
Hold
to
on.
games.
We have a Zeke
I've been waiting on this goddamn tidbit. I
Okay.
never looked it up in case you want to know.
tidbit.
The reason why it's called a bowl, like a Super Bowl, blah, 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 is because it was originally from Rose Bowl Stadium because it's bowl shaped. And that's it. That's all.
Oh, and that just named all the bowls.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I thought there was going to be some other story, but no, it's because the Rose Bowl is bowl shaped. And then every other tournament, like head-to-head competition with football, has been called a bowl ever since.
Okay,
including the Super Bowl.
Makes sense. Helldivers,
good stuff. Okay, so pretty cool. So first of all, Helldivers just passed 1 million sales. Good for them. The highest PlayStation title ever on Steam in terms of concurrent players.
Saw that.
Awesome. They are working to try to make the game better. The devs are sticking with it, which is great too. And the last part is, and this is what I was just about to say before I was interrupted with useless facts. The CEO of Arrowhead, somebody put a post up basically saying like, what do you want to see from this game? What is this game missing that you think can do it? And the CEO was one of the first people to respond to that tweet. And he was like, yeah, man, like I'd really like to see weapon customization and like, a few other things. And it's hilarious because he's like nonchalantly responding just like a random player. And then all of a sudden people start responding to him and he's like, are you the CEO of the company that made this game? Like, wait, like that's kind of awesome. You're just like candidly out there, like being like, yeah, we should have put these major things in that people wanted. And it's kind of like, it felt really good to see that. It's kind of awesome to see devs kind of like jump in with the players. And, like you don't see that too often. And it goes a really long way. And it's going to be very interesting, for instance, because he's kind of been all over a few tweet threads now. And it's going to be interesting to see if like we see some of this stuff get put in that he's like talking about wanting to see in the game. If that actually happens, that's awesome.
It'd be great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're doing a lot right right now. I'm kind of a fan of the game, not just like exploding into massive crazy. I mean, it's super successful, but it's not like Power World.
I agree
in that regard.
I agree
because I feel like the best
of
the game is still to come. Ultimately,
it's also important to mention this game wouldn't handle it.
Yeah, true.
If it exploded, this, like no one would be playing if there were as many people playing Power World as this game. So what's fantastic about the Helldivers 2 success is it is clearly way more than they anticipated, but it's also apparently under what they can deal with, which is fantastic. So that's like the perfect spot for success,
Yeah.
where it's like way above what you wanted, but also under what you can handle. So, and that it doesn't become one of those like suffering from success situations. It's just like, oh, success. Great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's enjoying it and you're successful.
I agree. Yeah, the game's just dumb fun. I've been having a blast with it. I think pretty much everyone in our little like social streamer spheres that's played it has had an absolute blast with it. So we'll, I'm sure, gonna keep playing it. I'm close to 20 now, and so I almost have like
Nice.
all the unlocks that I want, which means I get to do some of the other crazy stuff. We played some robot stuff, by the way, last night, Co. We were fighting more robots. On hard difficulty, have you done a hard difficulty run on the robots?
I don't know.
So one of the like modifiers, the like mutators or whatever that can happen, is your stratagems get hacked. And so when you input like, I'm going to drop this machine gun and reinforce it on me, it inputs like a bomb. And if you don't look at what you're throwing, you just throw a bomb on your entire team.
That is so fucking cool.
I love it.
So
I
last night,
absolutely love it.
we spawned into a map not knowing this, and we all throw like, at the very beginning, we throw like all of our equipment, all that stuff. And about 2 seconds later, a fucking nuke drops on us. There's an orbital laser. There's like the strafing runs, and we're just like, what the fuck? Is it is it bugged? What the hell's going on? And someone in our chat was like, no, they've hacked you. You have to be careful when you input your stratagems because you're getting hacked by like the robots. Fucking crazy that's a thing. That's so cool.
Such a brilliant idea. And I think like they could do the same thing with the bugs. Like, you know, there's the brain bug from, I think, Starship Troopers, right?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like they could have like control of one of your corpses. Like the bugs could do the same thing and then like take control and then, you know, do the stratagems with their dead bodies and stuff, like by controlling them like with brain bugs or something.
That'd be great.
I love the innovation. I love that. I love the unexpected shit. This game surprised me because I went into it thinking EDF, and it is so much different.
Yeah.
I won't say
Same
better.
way with Starship Troopers.
I won't say better because I know people will jump down my throat for that, but
Sure.
I will say it is a lot different, and it's a lot more than I expected, especially since there's like I thought it was going to be only bugs. I didn't know there was going to be like, you know, robots and shit. And like if they keep up with like more enemy types, more innovation, or that kind of shit, like even I, who I'm not a you know shooter fan per se, I can see myself going back to this because it's got the playful attitude and the variety.
Yeah.
That I just loved it.
It's just fun to play. Like it's fun to go in there and just shoot things and have fun. Yeah. And the difficulties are, I feel like, really well balanced for kind of all players, where you can just find a difficulty that feels best to you and you'll kind of get the same thing as everyone else. Maybe you get some like different samples or whatever, but those are much later unlocks. So you can still grind the lower level stuff and be able to get what most people are getting. For all of that. So it's cool. Like it's the first game I felt in a while where I don't have to crank the difficulty up to be like having fun, I guess. It's still fun to just kill things on any. And also
difficulty. Like with games that were like cooperative shooter games like that go the space, you can go to other planets and stuff. A lot of them like seem to be like, I don't know, like Destiny, like it's bound by lore. Like you can function within the confines of the lore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where this one, it seems like open, so you could like go to a planet of like blobs and just fight a bunch of blobs, you know, if you want to. Like,
yeah, it's good. Yeah, and that's a good PC 2400 in my chat makes a good point. None of the enemies feel like bullet sponges, and like when you're shooting an armored target, it feels like you're shooting an armored target and not a bullet sponge because you don't have the right weapon. Because like if
Disagree.
you do what?
Disagree.
You don't. I feel like if you get a
like
railgun,
the tank bugs and stuff. I swear I've unloaded like 5 clips into some of those tank bugs and like got little red things for most of the hits and still not had it die. Now, granted, maybe that's the intention. Like,
yeah,
I
want,
mean
that's like the lower level guns, I guess. Lower level, if you use a railgun, you can like 4-shot those guys.
It's true. That's true. They do have the right weapon for the right job, kind of thing. That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Or
that's the coordination. Weapon, so. Like if you're going into a situation that you don't know, like you coordinate with your team and say like, okay, I'm going to bring a variety of armor piercing, and like metal destroying stuff.
Yeah, you
bring like organic destroying stuff, and we'll see which one plays better and stuff like that. Or like the ballista strike or the orbital laser or the whatever.
Yeah.
So much variety. And I agree with the armor thing. Like when I was like, I had my, I was low level. I had my basic ass gun and I was shooting at those armor guys and I was seeing it go ping, ping,
yeah,
ping,
you
and
see
just fly off.
The tracer round.
After a few times, I'm like, that's not working. I'm not going to use that gun anymore. So I tried to go around back and, I just either lob grenades or call in some resupply or something.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you guys something kind of weird and dumb right now?
Let's hear it.
Can both of you try to log into Helldivers 2 right now?
Okay. I won't do it because it'll mess up the call, but Zeke can do it.
Can you try, Zeke? So, yeah, funny enough, because I've been messaging with the comms guy for Arrowhead, and he was like, I told him about the whole thing. I was like trying to convince you guys to play Helldivers 2 today. The servers went down. He's like, well, the servers actually didn't go down. He's like, they're working on it, but they're up. He's like, yeah, you can log in right now. And I was like, really? And I went to log in, but whenever I open my Helldivers, I get a message just saying the servers are down over and over. And if I click a bunch of times, eventually it gets in, but then it just immediately crashes. So
it's like a rolling
I can't even open the game. And he's like, I don't know what's wrong. So I'm just trying to figure, like, am I the only one having this problem?
I got the splash screen. The splash screen that says press any button, and then beneath in yellow it says failed connect server contact support.
Okay, that's not just me. Okay,
that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Apparently, if you just spam click to get in, someone said
I did that.
Yeah,
I did, and eventually it starts to go in, and then it just crashes, and it did that like 3 times, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Got it. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, just wondering.
No. Yeah, by the way, Zeke, this is one of the new planets because one of the planets was
what?
Freedomed or whatever. What now?
Sorry, Chad is apparently saying if you watch the whole start video, it works.
Oh, maybe it's like a handshaking thing. Anyways, okay. Zeke, this is one of the new planets that went in, and it's pretty much like perma nighttime, and so we had a pretty miserable time on it, but it's actually awesome because there's so much like I think it's just like dust storm that you can't really see more than like 10 feet out, but it's terrifying because the giant bugs just walk towards you and then appear out of nowhere through the smoke, and it looks awesome. Like it's a really, really well done effect. And if you drop like a bomb or something, it illuminates everything around you. It's so awesome. It looks so cool.
Man, it's a real touchy thing with me as far as visibility goes.
Yeah.
Because I have a problem with games having limited visibility. It just really irks me when I can't see where the fuck I'm doing. Like I had the worst time playing Lethal Company when it's like a snowstorm or whatever.
Yeah.
God, I hate it. I want to quit. Like when I can't see, I just want to quit. I just okay. If I was king of the gaming and I could, wave my
John Gaming,
make stuff happen. Yeah. If I was John Video Games, don't make it so I can't see this far in front of me. Make it so I can see all around me, but make it like Predator vision or something like that, like a little obscure or something of that nature, because not knowing where I'm going and the feeling of being lost really fucks with me.
Oh, you don't have the feeling of being lost here. It's just you can't.
Oh, okay.
You can't see the creatures until they're right upon you, is how I would say it. I would always just pull up the map and put like a directive, and you always got a compass telling you where to go.
There is definitely a step missing in this game between the map and the main UI, though. Like they do a good job letting everyone put down waypoints on the map. You can you can hold down tab and look at the whole map and scroll around and stuff. The problem is is that the only place any pings or anything show up is in that little tiny compass at the top. And if it's not on the compass, it doesn't show you where it is on the compass. There's not like guidelines left and right. So you see that like that nice big blue line in front of that thing right there? They need that for everyone's waypoints. So if somebody puts a waypoint down in the world, there needs to be a big ass planet side style beam. So you can just like look around and be like, oh, he pinged there. Or like an overlay element, like when you hit the Q thing, like there's a missing thing there, and it makes it a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Also, is there a way to keep the mini map up on the screen or no?
Nope. You got to hit tab.
Is that part of the design? Is that supposed to be like?
Yeah,
that?
I think it's because your guy.
Oh yeah, that's weird too.
He looks at his hand type deal,
up.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, can confirm. Watched let the intro of Helldivers play, and now I'm in the game.
I tried to, but it crashed during the intro.
Yeah, no, mine. I'm on my ship now.
Well, there you go.
Well, damn, look at that.
Whereas it stopped it before, which is kind of crazy.
There you go.
That's pretty wild. Good tip, chat. Thank you.
So chat will probably have to give us the answer here, but have you guys heard? There's no roadmap yet, but I have heard that they plan to update the game like every other week or 2 times a month, or like what is the like update plan for this? Have you heard? Have you guys
also Battle Pass is like perma unlocked apparently?
Yeah, you can always go back to it, which is cool.
Yeah, they have
Halo
lots
style
of big plans. Yeah.
I'm just wondering like how fast they're going to keep it updated. Is it a multiplayer only game? No, but yes. You kind of want to play.
I mean, it is currently.
Yeah.
Like the anything past medium difficulty for a true solo player is going to be basically a challenge run.
Yeah. That said, I haven't had any terrible public matches yet. The hard part about it is like getting a full group, I think, because of the matchmaking, but they're going to try and figure that out. Every second Thursday in a month is when they plan to do updates. Huh. I suppose we'll see if they can keep up with that. That's a lot. The other big conversation, which we've kind of skipped over, that I think people would want to know about is the whole, like, is the game pay to win? Is this like one of the things where we have to define what pay to win is?
Yes. No, it 100% is.
That's how you go about it. Yeah.
This is a perfect example. This is a Warframe.
Yeah. Pay to progress.
Warframe. Yeah. Well, it's pay to get quicker.
Yeah.
If you want to, from what we understand. So it's very similar.
Yeah.
It's not going to make you stronger. You can't buy anything that will, and there's not really any PvP in the game unless you're a complete DK asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, but I mean, the people, it's the people that want to argue it's pay to win have tools to do that, and the people that want to argue that it's gray have the tools to do that. So it's just, whichever side of the fence you're on, you'll be able to make a decent argument.
Yeah. And I think it's just, take a look at it, see which side of the fence you fall on, and then make your decision is probably the best bet there.
So that's kind of what we've come to in general. It's not is it pay to win is not a yes no. Is it pay to win is you figure out what the monetization is for the game and you make your own opinion on if you want to play it or not. Like the yes no answers of pay to win are kind of quickly fading away as games find more creative ways to monetize.
Yeah.
Once again, the CEO of Arrowhead, and it's at Pile. Pilestedt. Pilestead.
Yeah.
I'm partial, but we really applied ourselves to not make it pay to win, even though items are functionally different. The only item that's pay to win is the revolver, which will win you any cool gun competition. Only minor problem is it's not that good.
It is not that good. Okay. I would agree with him there. But it does look cool when you pull out like a 6-shooter thing and spin it in your hand. So I agree with him. Yeah. That is a factual statement. By
the way, guys,
but also,
I'm super jazzed at everyone's like really good arguments on why pay to progress is not pay to win. It's okay. Anyone you're gonna convince with those kind of comments doesn't care.
Or they're on an internet forum somewhere.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons. Like, if you noticed, I was like, don't bother trying to convince people. Just let them know what's in the game. Let them make their own decision.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's like trying to argue the true definition of what an indie game is. It's like,
it's rough. Everyone's got their own.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own thing.
Got their own for sure.
Whatever.
And the tweet that Ko was talking about earlier, someone on Twitter said, how are you liking Helldivers 2? What do you really like? What do you dislike, if anything? And then the same account, Palstead, answered, this is the what you were talking about. I dislike the matchmaking. Everything else rocks. Well, actually, I don't like there's no weapon customization. So, like, he's talking, I'm guessing about shit like they're going to work on or add.
I hope so.
That's it, and see, that's where it gets interesting, because like that actually brings up a lot of questions where it's like, okay, if the CEO wanted something in the game that's not there, is it because it got cut? Is it because they decided not to put that in and now he's saying, oh man, I wish they had gone with what I decided? Is it planned? Like it's interesting. Like, not a lot of times CEOs will come out and be like, yeah, I wish this kind of cool feature was in my game that's not.
Yeah.
The next logical question is, why not? If you're the CEO and it's not in the game, why isn't it in the game?
I would be very shocked if, like, the Sony execs are like, yes, let us sell die packs for $4 each, right? Like, they gotta be, they're all about the live games right now and trying to get as many things as possible. If you sell, customization packs, people would buy the shit out of that. If you could dye yourself
Somebody
a certain
says,
color.
You are overthinking this so much. No, I'm not. I'm just curious on what his perspective is.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is not a regular situation to have CEOs say that kind of stuff, so I'm interested where he's coming from.
Yeah,
I take your comment and I turn it around on you and say, you don't ask interesting enough questions.
Boom.
You should work on that.
Boom.
Boom! Boom!
Yeah. Makes me wonder how many times you could have done something interesting in your life and you just went, nah, I'm overthinking it.
Boom. This is the same dev who did Magica. Yes. A lot of people are shocked to see that. But it is. And then the other thing, the anti-cheat, which is installed no matter what you want, and it runs every time you start the game. It's kernel level anti-cheat, so a lot of people are wary of installing it, and kind of like the pay to win, you have to, it's up to you to make that decision on if you care about that. There's not really been any reports of it actually doing anything, but people are obviously super wary of installing anything that has kernel level access on their PC. And
now
it's up to you to decide if you want that.
I think I know what that means. Can you confirm it?
It's just like the base the lowest, sorry, the most, the second your PC starts and goes through BIOS, that's like what it has access to. So essentially they could do things to your PC, but like, here's my take on it. Fucking PlayStation is not going to run illegal fucking malware on your system, or else that would be a massive lawsuit. Like, there's no reason.
You say that, man, but the Apple and the Google, they're listening to us. They put chips in the 5G and the vaccine.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. If you're worried about them like being hacked again, I guess there's criticism.
Are you talking about the rootkit?
Yeah, the rootkit stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So real quick. Here's the thing. The only reason I would say that's maybe not the best way to look at this is that most people are not concerned at all about Sony or even the companies running this stuff doing anything nefarious.
Yeah.
I think the issue more is that they are putting in vulnerabilities. They are by putting in this anti-cheat stuff, they are putting in things that can be exploited by other nefarious parties to completely bypass defenses in machines. And that is a very real and a very valid concern. It's one of the reasons when people come in and start really like complaining about the anti-cheat, I'm like, I'm not going to try to convince you it's not wrong. Like it's right. It's a common problem and lots of games use it. Absolutely. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean there's better ways to do it. That because all it's going to take is one of these going bad. One piece of software gets written that takes advantage of them and starts being popularized, and all these anti-cheats are going to disappear overnight. So I mean, it's a vulnerability, man. It's not good. This is not a good way to do anti-cheat. Like it's not a good thing.
Now,
it's not the worst thing, and it might be fine forever, but it's still not good practice.
Yeah.
To do it this way.
someone from my chat, I'm going to ask it as a question to see if like you guys know or have an opinion or whatever. Sure. But they put extra liability. This puts extra liability into user systems. Companies get hacked all the time, so it would give access to many PCs, which you said. Also, this anti-cheat is not removed when removing the game. Is that true?
That I don't know. Some anti-cheats are not removed when you uninstall games, and this might be one of them. If he's saying it is, then maybe it is.
And as a hypothetical, you install the game, you can't uninstall the anti-cheat. 3 months later, a vulnerability comes out for that thing. You're screwed. You know, like at that point, you're just screwed. And that is absolutely something that could happen. Will it?
Oh, but probably not. They include a tool to remove it?
Yeah, chat's saying it is removed. There's actually a like statement on the Steam forums about it from the. But
a lot of people are saying you do need an independent special tool to do it. According to some people. Well, see, here's the thing. It depends. I don't know in Helldivers' case, for the record. But yeah, it really depends on how they install it and what you have to, you know.
Yeah,
chat is very split on if you have to manually remove it or not. So I have no idea.
However, we know that that there are some remnant files left in the game directory in the Steam library folder. They can simply be deleted, though, as they're only previously downloaded GameGuard updates.
Yeah, you missed the first sentence there. The administrator level anti-cheat service that is installed with the game is removed when the game is uninstalled, or GG uninstall.exe is run. So, yeah, that's at the end of the FAQ on their anti-cheat topic. So,
no, I mean, like leaving files behind after you uninstall a game is kind of every game. You know, like. Every game on Steam, at least. Like when you uninstall a game, like it leaves files behind, like your save files and that kind of shit. It leaves those on your.
For the record, that's not anyone. No one's arguing or worried about that stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff they're worried about is the much higher level in your system stuff that gets left.
Yeah. I think my position on it is that I've played so many games that have like different anti-cheats that I don't care. I've got like 4 anti-cheats running right now.
And see, and what you're saying is that's most people.
Yeah.
You are most people.
Yeah.
So I would say that is the far majority of gamers are just kind of like, well, you know, I play Fortnite, I play Rainbow Six, I play these other games. It's fine. It's not a big deal. They worked fine. I'm not hacked, whatever. So, you know, it's very laissez-faire, like, you know, we'll just keep doing what we're doing kind of thing.
Right.
But in the same vein, it is important to note though, that doesn't mean that makes the argument of the people concerned about it any less valid.
Totally, yeah.
So, it's not, that's not an argument for saying it's still not a problem.
Do you think there's, is the idea of that existing in the conversation around it create some sort of like fear mongering in terms of installing it? Or is that more of a marketing thing for them to deal with and less for the consumers?
There are people that are not playing this game because of it.
Yeah.
I have seen so many things in my Twitch chat, lots on my YouTube comments, where they're just like, "I'm not playing this garbage that installs kernel level anti-cheat. I'm not touching it."
Yeah,
and it's obviously influential. Now, is that a small vocal minority? It could be. I mean, you know, these are probably the same people saying the same thing about all the other games that have it. So, you know, and they do get it. All those other games get it too, in a small amount. So, you know, it's that kind of thing. But
yeah. It's a longer conversation, and I'm sure it's going to continue. Especially, I think League of Legends is adding their Valorant level anti-cheat, the same anti-cheat that Valorant uses, into their game sometime this year. So the conversation is going to keep coming up for sure. I think throughout the course of anything. And the other thing too is I've seen this in chat. I think it's worth addressing. Why do they have anti-cheat in a PvE game? Yeah. Do you know the exact quote from that?
The thing is, I don't know the exact quote, but I do know that this game features large scale players versus environment goals, and like taking over planets, and you know, your entire side takes regions and stuff like that. And if the game had cheaters everywhere, it would literally ruin them.
Yeah.
Like it would completely destroy the community goals. That's my guess. Yeah, I don't know what the public reasoning is.
I mean, hey,
devs.
They're doing a good job because they posted 19 days ago on the Helldivers subreddit and said, Helldivers 2 is a co-op PvE game. Why do we even need anti-cheat? They said, that's a great question, and there's 2 related but separate points to it. A very long answer. Let me see if I can summarize quickly. First, we want everyone to have a great time playing Helldivers 2 with friends, ex-friends, or randoms. What we've seen in some of ours and other games is that rampant cheating tends to have a very negative effect on players' openness to playing, especially with randoms. So they don't want like quick play to jump in and destroy experience. That makes sense.
If you jump in quick play and one dude is hacking with, infinite health and max damage, that instantly makes your playing significantly less fun.
Yeah. And then second, which is what Ko just said, the Galactic War, there's a huge metagame going on in the cloud, which all players and game clients participate in. Even though we have other countermeasures in place, a cracked game client could make it easy to disrupt the Galactic War, which would sour everyone's experience. So, yeah, those are their 2 reasonings for that.
And honestly, those are pretty, I'm the intention of the reasons is great. Yeah. Maybe not the implementation, but the intention makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Helldivers 2. It's out. You can play it. What are they? Is it $40? $30? I think it's 40. I think it's a $40 thing. And then the deluxe edition is 60. If you want to get the super deluxe version to become
I love me some Helldivers 2.
It's good. Yeah.
Helldivers.
It's a good time for sure. I think we've all enjoyed it and we'll continue to enjoy it. So, what else is happening in video game news? It's wild that we spent an hour on Helldivers, and I don't think we'll spend that long on this. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's been the talk of the gaming thing, the gaming sphere for the past week. Xbox is apparently going to start doing multi-platform things for their first-party titles. Enough of a leak, rumor mill thing came out that Phil Spencer took to Twitter and said, we're listening and we hear you. That was just, he pulled a straight up, we're listening and we hear you tweet at the start of it. We've been planning a business update event for next week starting tomorrow. We might hear something as soon as tomorrow, where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. So we'll see what happens. They have
confirmed that consoles aren't leaving. Also.
Yes, there's a Eurogamer, at least the report that I'm looking at is Eurogamer.net. Spencer told employees that Xboxes would continue to be part of a strategy that involves multiple kind of devices. There was a meeting that was held on Tuesday where he said this and confirmed that the company was indeed considering bringing first-party games to multiple kinds of devices, and more would be revealed publicly next week. So we'll see what they really announce. That was enough to send people spiraling, though, on the internet. And people were losing their fucking minds.
There were people. Okay, yeah, and for the record, before we begin, nothing official has been announced.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
all rumors.
Nothing, and there are people out there that are publicly just. It is so. It's so frustrating and sad to see this. There are people out there that have literally been Xbox influencers for their entire gaming life.
Yeah.
And they're standing up and turning their back on Xbox and making all these grandiose statements and all these things. And it's just dude, you don't even know what's happening. These are leaks. They're leaks and rumors. There's been they even told you we'll officially tell you next week. And you can't wait a week before you turn your back on the thing you've been doing your whole life.
Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down. Maybe they have a really good point to this. Maybe there's some really positive stuff with this. Maybe there's some great news that we don't know that's going to lift every,
I would say, I would take it a step further. If your being is I'm team Xbox or I'm team PlayStation, maybe this is a wake-up call to fucking stop that. Just fucking, who fucking cares? Don't make that your fucking identity.
Yes.
20 years ago, it wasn't cool. It's even stupider now.
or if you are gonna make it,
we can all just agree that Switch sucks. Let's just we can.
Yeah, we'll get together. and
That's
just hate
actually
on-
going to
hate
get
on
us in
Nintendo.
more trouble than me saying
It
what
really
I said.
Oh, is it? Oh man.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't say that.
Here's the least you can do. The least you can do if you're going to devote your professional life to a brand
Yeah.
is at least let them tell you what they're doing
Sure.
before you swear them off forever.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. Like the amount of just casual half-assing here and just complete lack of, I don't know. It's just the whole situation is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's been fun dunking on those, like the meme that I saw going around is Tim Dog has like turned his back on, I don't know who Tim Dog is, but Tim Dog has turned his back on Xbox, and so everyone's like saying, no, they got Tim Dog, fuck. Like Tim Dog's done with Xbox. It's just
Okay.
the most absurd thing. And I also heard of someone was talking about it. I think it was Jeff Gersman who said this, and I actually really agree with him. Xbox is actually kind of like reinforced this because a lot of the high profile Xbox employees follow these guys. And so it kind of like emboldens what they're doing and like their being, which I get totally supporting your customer base and everything like that. But like they kind of have created this mentality around the Xbox brand just by like going out and supporting them.
So, can you imagine being somebody at Xbox where it's like, how do we deal with these people? They're flipping out over stuff we haven't announced. We can't confirm. We can't roll back because it's not even announced yet. We
Yeah.
can't comment on it because it's not public. It's like, do they just let these people whine like man children until they're tired and take a nappy nap? Like, what do you do? Your hands are totally tied. What do you do? And more importantly, what are these people expecting them to do? What are these influencers expecting Xbox to do? Like, they're literally saying, wait until next week and we'll tell you what's going on. Nope. I'm leaving now.
yeah.
You need to say something now. I'm not waiting till next week. I want it now, and I want a sucker in my nappy. Now.
I'm just enjoying looking at the people in chat who perked up when he said nappy nap.
I
I was like,
I want a nappy now.
I want a nap.
a nap always
God,
sounds great.
Give me a nap.
But no, it's serious.
There's
Like,
no time I don't want a nap.
that's the part of this has been so crazy because, like, I'm sure you guys get asked just as much as I do. Like, what do you think of this? What are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't think, or I'm not going to do anything. Like, no, we know nothing.
Yeah.
We know absolutely nothing. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be crazy to think that you'd make any type of public progress or progress for Xbox or progress for anyone by going public about this now when the company has said, we're not going to talk about it. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild.
I was
Anyway, I'm done.
I was scrolling on the Phil Spencer tweet. The second response to it is cheap ass gamer video game deals, and they just say, "Let's see some deals in the future, please." I just thought that was very on brand. Like they're just getting in there. Yeah, give us some more
do it.
deals, Phil.
Yeah,
Let
give
us
us some more
know.
deals.
Let us know. So yeah, with all that said, next week sometime, next couple of days, we might hear about Xbox going and putting games on PlayStation, which I'm kind of for it. Get the games
And
out
phasing
there.
out exclusives.
Yeah, and phasing out exclusives, exactly. I'm let's do it. Put everything on Game Pass, put Game Pass on everything. I think
Well, it brings up all, like, the thing is, though, is that people don't understand, like, exclusives and timed exclusives are two entirely different things. So, I mean, they very much may have leaked where it's like, yeah, there's not going to be Xbox exclusives anymore. But it's like, in a week, they may just come out and be like, yeah, that's because we're moving them on to Game Pass exclusives. Like,
sure.
Again, we know nothing. We know nothing. Like, we've gotten a few buzzwords that maybe were leaked or not leaked. Like, they're even having problems, I think, confirming the source. So it's like, it's just such a cluster fluff.
Yep.
Yeah. It was even wilder. It was so wild seeing, like, big influencers argue for exclusives. Like, there were these like diehard Xbox influencers with, in some cases, like almost 6-digit followers who are sitting there publicly being like, if you don't keep exclusives on our consoles, why would we stay Xbox fans?
Yeah. Real weird conversation.
It's kind of like, well, why don't you answer that question? Like, do you not like Xbox if they don't have exclusives? And you're like the Xbox guy? Are you asking me or like?
I couldn't ever. I couldn't imagine, and I'm sure types of people like this exist, but I just could not imagine like not playing God of War because it's not on the Xbox, right? Like where they're so adamant in what and their like belief in the brand that they will not play a fucking game like God of War or a game like any first party Sony thing. But that totally exists. There are people like that.
Dopestar says, I mean, SkillUp is a proponent of exclusives. He thinks it promotes competition. I don't agree, really, says Dopestar. Well, you also have to remember that SkillUp is in the pocket of big Sony and big Xbox, so of course he's going to want exclusives.
That's
the man's name is ShillUp.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really think he's going to? No, I'm all joking aside. He is absolutely right. Competition does when big companies like Sony and Microsoft compete, we win. We win when the big guys have to compete with each other. Exclusives are a form of competition. Absolutely. But there are other ways to compete that don't give a huge negative to the consumer. So I'm totally with ShillUp, absolutely, that it's like, yeah, exclusives, competition is good. Exclusives are competition. But we could get a similar effect without the huge downside that exclusives brings. Like the fact that if you can't afford all the consoles, you literally don't get to play some of the biggest games.
Right.
That sucks. Like, yeah, sure, the competition's good for the consumer, but that's kind of a huge black eye for the consumer. So at that point, you're talking about, which competition is good and which competition is not good for the consumer. And I think the argument that exclusives are not good for consumers, there's a big argument there. There's a big argument.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Competition is good.
I agree. Cariso in my chat, I butchered your name. I apologize. They say, why does no one get on Nintendo for exclusives? Nintendo's this entire time, throughout this entire conversation, Nintendo's just been kind of like, yes. Please go at each other. We are crossing 200 million Switches sold this month.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And I'm going to hold up my hand so the editors know to remove this later from the YouTube.
Okay.
But the thing about Nintendo's exclusives is when your hardware is so garbage, that's all people talk about. They don't really care about exclusives anymore. Okay,
oh, shit. I'll keep the hand up just to say, like...
is this the dunk on
JP?
Nintendo segment?
No. Is that why, like... like, I'm not... Like, I got shit for saying the Switch is terrible?
Yes.
Is because
yes.
Nintendo will, like, take it down somehow?
No. The people will come after you, though. Nintendo has a special team that will come after you, Zeke. You have to be careful.
Nintendo actually owns
do you mean a team of employees or a team of fans?
Yes.
Okay. It's objectively bad, though.
No, Zeke. They will send ninjas that will kill you in your sleep.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, you got to be careful. That's why we always have to end with any Nintendo thing. It's like, just kidding.
It's a group of Italian ninjas that will fuck you up, all named Mario. Yeah,
every single one of them.
Some might even say they're clones. It's a big conspiracy. We don't get it. Let's not get into it. Let's get out of here.
No, so the Nintendo thing, the Nintendo thing's a little bit interesting because they've always kind of gone like Microsoft and Sony have kind of comparable hardware that do comparable things. So that's real easy to draw parallels between the two. But Nintendo's kind of always off doing its own thing. And more importantly, to Nintendo's credit, they're frequently the ones innovating in things that aren't just technology. So, and I kind of feel in some ways that gives them a little bit of a pass, like with their motion controllers, with their mobile system, the Switch, with all the cool, interesting, weird things they do.
Yeah.
So they have carved out this little area for themselves where it's like, okay, if you're going to keep doing all this weird, unique, interesting stuff, sure, keep it in your ecosystem. You want to keep Mario, you want to keep all that stuff like that. It kind of makes sense. I think it'd be completely different if they were, had a higher end console and we're trying to bring in those AAAs to them. Like at that point, yeah, I think we'd be really talking about that stuff. But you're not going to be playing a Switch game on your PS4 or PS5. Like it's just like sure there are games that are made for all three systems, but yeah, I mean it's not really the same. Not really the same argument.
I got my numbers mixed up before anyone calls me out. The Switch reached 139 million units sold, with 1.2 billion software units sold, which is crazy.
Does it differentiate with OLED? How did OLED do?
Let me see if it does in their report. I think the report I'm going to look at is going to be in Japanese. Oh no. It doesn't break it apart. It just says Switch.
I figured.
Yeah. Unit cells. Does it break it in unit cells? Nope. It just says Switch hardware. It lumps them all into one thing. At least in the report that I'm looking at on nintendo.co.jp, which is a fun URL. Yeah, then the stat that I did get correct was 195 million is the number that GTA 5 has sold. They're at 195 million units sold on that.
I was half expecting for you to say 6, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they opened up pre-orders.
Dude, that number is shocking, and then the second number is shocking is that game launched on the 360 and PS3. That's how long that game's been around.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
gone through 2 entire PlayStations.
It's just absolutely wild. It's wild to see that. Anyways, one other bit of news. We still got a couple things. Disney on Wednesday announced they took out a $1.5 billion stake in Epic Games. They will be working with Epic Games, the Fortnite maker, of course, on new content. They didn't say exactly what that is. They had a little teaser video, sizzle reel thing that says play, watch, shop, and engage, I think is what the 4 buzzwords there. Which is very buzzwordy. And they're saying that players can play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more in their press release. So,
yeah, there was some confusion because someone was like, "Man, what is Disney doing? Putting 100 or 1.5 mil into Fortnite?"
Bill.
What?
Billion, not million.
Billion. I'm sorry,
billion.
Yeah, I was like, "Who's Bill?" But the thing is that people need to remember, like, Epic just released in pretty recently the UEFN framework, and that is a very interesting, lush with cash technology that every one of you is going to see a lot more of next year. And I can tell you that because the investing stuff that I've been doing lately, there's a lot of money going into UEFN development right now.
Oh yeah,
like a lot. And we aren't going to see the actual effects of that for like another half year to multiple years. When all of a sudden all these things are going to be exploding on the scene. If you've never played Fortnite, don't be surprised if you download it in the next year. Early warning, because there's a lot of major companies making some pretty freaking cool stuff in UEFN. And for those who don't know what UEFN is, it's basically the Fortnite framework for game development. Like what Epic is doing is it's pulling in almost like a game engine, so that companies can use UEFN to then make their visions of games inside that universe. So it's this interesting new thing that is very attractive to game devs, because like it immediately takes away a lot of the unknowns. Like what is my framework going to run on? What are my server structure going to be? You know, what store am I like? What are my assets going to look like? Like a bunch of stuff is already answered if you decide to use UEFN, and it makes it so you can focus more on the game you're making.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people right now. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that sucks. This is terrible. Oh, how dystopian." I mean, this. All I'm saying is, get ready.
The first of many.
Get ready. So,
it is the first of many for
Somebody said, "Is this kind of like Roblox?" In a top level thing, kind of. Yes, it is. But it is a far more back at, like, Roblox is great for, like, you know, the guy that made Lethal Company, for instance. He was a Roblox dev, right? Yep. You know, you're and sure, there are absolutely like game dev companies that work in Roblox. UEFN is taking that concept and broadening it out, to where it's not like the kid in his basement making games. It's like an actual company that just launched a project. Their next project is now in UEFN. that kind of thing. So it's
Yeah, it'll be a big deal. For sure. I mean, 1.5. The other thing is 1.5 billion's not. Is that like what 5% of the company? I think is what that maybe boils down to.
Still a huge commitment.
Yeah, I mean it's very big commitment for sure. There's a lot of people that are committed in that regard to Epic. Tencent's in there, Sony's in there, and now Disney's in there as well. So we will see what they do with that. Not to get too buzzwordy, but I think that might be like the first real, at least if it's anything like they showed in that video. If those 3 islands are what they're aspiring to do, it's very metaversy. Like they're making that might actually be the first of its kind, where it's a real thing.
It's a real umbrella.
Yeah. You can walk around and be like, oh, I'm going to buy that shirt. And then it gets ordered and then you buy the shirt and it shows up at your house.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Disney. Yeah. Absolutely. Where, I mean, the first time they put one of their full parks in a UEFN thing and you're paying real money. Absolutely.
I'm all for it.
Let's see how good it is first.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody goes to Disney parks, if I don't have to go to Florida, then fucking let's go.
It brings up a lot of interesting ideas. Like, being able to like pull up a UEFN thing in like an Apple VR headset and like actually like cruise around the park and ride on the rides, and you see other people doing it, and it's like a 1-for-1 creation. And I mean, there's interesting things that could come from it. The problem is how they're going to monetize it.
Yes,
That's gonna be the Wild West.
It will be the Wild West for sure. There will be a lot of. It'll be a big topic of conversation, without a doubt.
This is a little delayed, but you talking about Grand Theft Auto crossing sales numbers and stuff like that, it got me curious. I was just looking up, what the top selling games of all time, meaning units sold, not how much money they made, but units sold. And it's pretty standard, like, okay, no surprises. But then you get down to number 10. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. You get down to number 10, and the 10th spot is shared by 3 games of most units sold: Overwatch, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and I shit you not, this surprised the fuck out of me, Human Fall Flat.
Yeah, that game was big. Yeah.
Really?
And that, I was looking at it, like, okay, Wii Sports got it, Minecraft, Red Dead Redemption, blah, blah, blah. And then it just like stopped. I went, Human Fall Flat? Because I looked up why. It was released in China, and it was released for like 50 cents or something like that.
Yeah, it's very big.
But just making it on the list with a game that like I sort of heard of. I think I played it one time. That was just crazy. I just thought you might like to know.
Yep.
That's cool.
Very,
never knew that.
Very big game. I need to find the full quote for this because I haven't really dove into it too much. Okay. So, Ubisoft had their CEO come out and defend the Skull and Bones $70 price despite its live service leanings by calling it quadruple A.
Okay, at that point, you're just yelling.
The full quote was, quote, "You will see that Skull and Bones is a fully fledged game. It is a very big game, and we feel that people will really see how vast and complete that game is. It's a really full triple ... quadruple A game that will deliver in the long run."
Wait, isn't there more context to that?
That was the quote that videogameschronicles.com served up. There might be more context in the
I want to say there's a sensationalist quote going around, and that might be it.
Okay.
And then I think there was one with more context where either it's a separate quote or something that's said later in that interview where he's like, he makes it clear that the A's were in reference to the amount of resources in the project.
Mm.
And he said that because they had like 8 studios work on it over 7 years or something crazy. So maybe,
yeah, I'm looking up other articles to see if they give the full quote.
I think he was just being a little like playful with it, and people. Now, to be fair, when you're the CEO of a company like Ubisoft, maybe err on the side of caution. Not saying it's okay, but I think it's a bit sensationalist currently.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's fun to give Ubisoft guff, but I don't think he's actually saying that this is a quadruple A. Like, he's not saying Skull and Bones is better than God of War or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see where a like CEO who's probably seen, the number sheets and realizes like, oh, we spent how much money on that game? Oh, that's okay. That's a quadruple A game.
Hold on. Wait, Mr. MX, can you confirm that? They use Quad A in job listings for other games?
Ubisoft does? Or just everyone does?
They also called Beyond Good and Evil 2 for Quad A? Wait, oh, come on. What is that even? So it's not just some dumb thing that he made up in the spot.
If they would have run it by someone with, some PR experience, I think he could have just said, it's not AAA. It's triple R.
There you go.
Apparently, Yang Ye. Is it Yang Yi or Yang Ye? Anyone know?
I don't know. No.
I'm not sure. I heard of him first being the Kiryu voice, so I'm not sure what it is. But apparently he has a video on this. That is interesting.
Oh, okay.
It's Yang Yeah?
Young, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking up the quadruple A thing. They did Beyond Good and Evil 2 was looped into that conversation 3 years ago. Skull and Bones was also titled a quadruple A thing as of 3 years ago. There's a post that mentions that. So I guess this is not the first time that they've responded or referred to that title as a quadruple A game. And you might have gotten it 100% right, Co, that like it might just be money invested because that game's been 13. How long has that game been worked on? 13 years or some crazy amount.
I think realistically it's like eight-ish years.
Yeah. It's been rebooted multiple times. So
yeah. I didn't even know what it was at the beginning.
Yeah. So just a fun quote that kind of people were running with this past week. And then
dude, wait a second. Okay, I gotta watch this video. In the first 30 seconds of Yang Ye's video, which I'm gonna now call him Yang Ye. I don't even care if that's wrong. I like how it sounds.
Do it up.
In apparently the only reason Skull and Bones got made was because a deal with the Singapore government doesn't let it die.
Yes. Yeah, they had to put the game out because they got money from the government. Because they have the studio over there. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I never got that. That's hilarious. That makes all of a sudden things are making a lot more sense.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds like this sort of thing, like the whole quadruple A thing. Sounds like the sort of thing that Devolver might latch onto for their Summer Game Fest conference.
Maybe if Devolver, okay, we're
introducing octuple A games.
Oh, they absolutely should. And I know if Seriously Clara isn't out there already coming up with something where it's like they release like a new expansion, they're like, well, only because we coupled with the Spanish government are we having to put this out or something like, oh man, I hope they're all over this. But yeah, that's wild, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a very good chance that we could have lived in a reality where it was just canceled, just removed completely.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Without question. Yeah. Some more Elias Defexus news. Not really news. I'm mostly including this because I know Co is a huge fan of both Deus Ex and Elias Defexus. He tweeted out when was the 7th? Wednesday, and said Deus Ex got canceled. This other massive game I was both acting and directing on got canceled. And a third game I was acting and directing on got reworked and now starting from scratch with a whole new team. The video game world is a disaster zone right now, is how he referred to it. So,
yep. Yeah, he got so depressed over the whole situation that he did like an official goodbye to Adam Jensen.
Really?
He publicly has said like, all right, like I'm done hoping, and he thanked the fans for all their support, and and he was just like he literally said I don't see any future in which this is going to be a thing. And he just goes on to say how much he appreciated everyone, and he will always identify as Adam Jensen. You know, that'll always be a character that he loves. And It was a little heart
Sag.
touching. Yeah, a little sad.
Yeah.
A little sad. Go fund Deus Ex. I am already talking to Embracer.
There you go.
I'm not gonna let them. I'm not gonna let them shutter that IP. No, we're gonna figure something out.
He's gonna make it happen. What else? We got full sales.
Hey, it worked with Stalker.
I guess so. Yeah. We got full
Tried
sales
to buy the
for 2023. And Hogwarts Legacy was the best-selling game worldwide last year. Zelda was second place for that.
Was it the one last year, or did it roll over into being the most sold this year?
I remember finding the full data. Let me see what I can pull up and answer that for you. Let's see here.
Right on. I heard that it's because apparently it's still selling well. That was the thing that I remember reading and being like, "Damn, dude." Sure.
Where is it? Circana?
Maybe they just got the full data this month. Yeah.
It's looking at the here. I'll pull it up and show it on stream. Let me see if I can get this exact graphic.
Yeah, a lot of people are pinging this in. Yeah, the benefits of releasing in January, man. Like, if you're going for sales in a year, like that's the way to do it.
Yeah. These are this is the list from Circana, LLC, which I guess is a company that has all these numbers. The digital sales were not included for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Xbox and Switch digital sales. This includes all physical and full game digital from the Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox platforms for publishers in the digital leader panel ranked on dollar sales, excluding add-on spending. So, Hogwarts number 1. The next 3, not really a shocker: Call of Duty, Madden, Marvel. Everything else there kind of makes sense. Star Wars rocking 9. Dead Island
2. Yeah,
really?
Really? I mean, that was bringing back a pretty iconic franchise. So I think that says more about. I think that says more about the staying power of the original than the quality of the most recent. To be honest,
yeah.
Which, to be fair, Dead Island 2 was not a terrible game. I mean, I actually enjoyed it. I played the DLC and stuff. I thought it was fine. But it's probably not the best zombie game out there.
Yeah,
wasn't bad though. Wasn't bad.
Yeah. They also.
I just realized I didn't play any of the top 8.
How can you call yourself a gamer, Zeke? Unbelievable.
I know the first one I played was Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
Like going down the list, like I played Jedi Survivor.
That makes sense. Yeah. They also released the mobile top grossing. These were more interesting to me just because some of these. Guess what the number 1 was? I bet you will. I'll give you 5 guesses if you could even name 5 mobile games on what the top grossing mobile game of 2023 was for the two of you.
Here we go. I'm gonna Honkai.
Nope, not even in the top 10.
Nikkei.
Not even in the top 10.
One of those games that DJ Wheat plays. Those competitive Castle King something. What am I thinking of?
Not even in the top 10, Zeke.
No, Genshin?
Not even in the top 10.
Are any Hoyoverse games in the top 10?
Nope.
They make billions. What the hell? Pokemon in the wrong industry, man. What?
Pokemon is number 6. Pokemon Go is number 6.
Okay. I got 1.
Yeah.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush Saga is number 2.
Nice chat.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that. Nice.
Yeah.
Farmville.
Farmville is not there. No.
It's not Raid.
No, it's not.
Thank God. Okay. I was gonna say Genshin and okay.
And people are saying Marvel Snap, but I don't think so.
No, Marvel Snap's not. Marvel Snap's a low earner. Yeah.
I was gonna say Diablo Immortal, but there's no way that earned as much as Hoyoverse.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Number 1.
Oh, Clash. That's what I was trying to think of. The DJ Wheat games, the Clash games.
Nope.
We love that.
Not top 10.
Okay.
Number 1. Actually, let's start with number 10.
Oh, PUBG Mobile?
Nope. You guys are
Damn it,
thinking
man.
too gamer. You're too is like central gamer with it. Number 10 is Ebony, which you might remember
my
the
God.
Super Bowl ads
It's-
a while back with Kate Upton.
Yes.
That's
I
Ebony.
remember those.
Yeah.
Booby ads, yes. Okay.
Yes.
I don't even know how to spell it.
EVONY. Ebony. There's a game called Township, which I don't know what is. That's number 9.
Cool.
This one makes, I guess it's probably SEO related, but the game's called Jackpot.
Oh, Township, Farmville.
Okay, yeah. The game's called Jackpot Party Casino Slots.
So what do you guys think that game's about?
I don't know. Who knows what
That's
game's-
the farming game I heard about, right?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Gardenscapes. I don't know what
Oh my
that
God, it
is.
has Joe McHale.
just-
The Jackpot
just play-
Party game has Joe McHale like,
That's
on
just-
the cover, like, yeah!
Nice.
I'm like, oh,
Dude,
Joel.
Gardenscapes is just make a damn garden, isn't it?
Probably.
Yep. It's just make a damn garden.
There you
That's
go.
right. Okay.
There you go. Pokemon Go was 6. You guys guessed that.
Gardenscape's lifetime revenue grows to $1.5 billion.
Jesus.
Wow. All right, sorry. What was the one after that?
Pokemon Go, number 6. Number 5 is Coin Master. Don't know what that is. 4 is
Waymaster is
okay.
a free single-player casual mobile game created by an Israeli studio, Moon Active. It has over 100 million downloads. Is the top-grossing mobile game in the UK and Germany, and it looks to be an adventure game
Huh. Okay.
about a pig that steals coins.
It's an auto scroller, is what someone in my chat
Ah, there
said.
you
One of
go.
those auto scrollers. Okay.
It also has slots.
Mm,
I'm looking at a lot of slots.
okay. 4 Royal Match. Probably another
Royal match.
one of those match games.
2 words or 1 word?
2 words.
A little puzzle game.
Oh, like Candy Crush.
little puzzle action.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Number 3, not a shocker here at all. Roblox. Roblox just
Oh,
cranking the money.
counted that as mobile. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
100%.
2
I
was
didn't know that would count as mobile.
Yeah. 2 was Candy Crush Saga, which you guys called.
There we go.
And number
At the top.
1, which is a massive shocker to me because I've seen ads for it, but I did not know it was that successful. Monopoly Go.
How many people hate the other people they're playing with?
That is wild. Monopoly Go was the top grossing 2023 mobile title, provided Sensor Tower was the one that did the stats on that. So, whew.
GG, dude.
Yeah.
Wait. When was Monopoly made?
Oh, that was 80s, 70s.
Yeah, it was 1935.
What?
I was going to say Monopoly's old.
What
old.
the fuck? That's old.
80
Holy shit.
80 a game made in 1935 is currently the best-selling mobile game in 2024.
Hey, good job to whoever's running
Great,
that IP.
Dude, I tell
Keeping
you,
it
man.
alive.
Talk about
Goddamn.
chest,
my
dude.
lord.
Keeping it alive.
My
Holy
Lord.
shit. That's crazy. That's
Dude,
wild.
I think even
of,
Zeke was
of-
born then.
Yeah. We were all around.
It was close. But speaking as a alum of Swifter's Monopoly League,
Oh, yeah.
the game's fun. Game's real fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun.
It's wild. That's wild. We had the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth State of Play. Trailer was pretty spoilery, so I won't get into it. That happened. That was the thing on
Thank you. Yes,
Tuesday.
I'm
Yeah.
avoiding the demo and everything.
Yeah, I played the demo. It was great. It's super spoilery though. So if you're one to stay clear of spoilers, don't play a demo.
Of
Final Fantasy
no,
VII.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
okay.
Gene on Twitter he was like, "Yeah, I just played the demo. It was great." I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it because I don't want spoilers." And he just responds in all caps. He's like, "Do not play it."
Yeah, don't play
It's
it.
like, "Damn, okay."
Do not play it.
Yeah, he's like, "Do not play it."
Yeah, absolutely. Do not play it. I think that's it. There was one thing from last week that I do want to ask you guys about, but I'm just going to see if there was anything else this week. Dead Cells is
Oh, yeah.
is what are they calling it? They're
Okay, what they're doing is they're essentially officially announcing the end of Dead Cells.
Yeah.
And more power to the devs. A lot of people are like, oh, this is so sad and this sucks, dude. No. This is amazing because Dead Cells went from like little indie title to amazing EA success to incredible 1.0 to lots of great patches and updates, lots of cool collabs. Like Dead Cells was awesome. So what the dev is essentially saying is, we are done. We loved that everyone loved it. We had a great time making it, and now we are moving on to our next game. So that's basically what they said. Yeah. So there's no bad news at all. It's kind of just very very positive and good for them kind of stuff. And
yeah. They're working. What was the wit? Is it? It starts with a W, right? Their next game. We saw it at the Game Awards. Some
stuff in this. And I do know that we kind of know what's coming, but I think they actually announced they may have a couple things they're working on.
Windblown. Yes. Okay, that was the trailer.
They actually mentioned a couple things. There was a tweet.
Someone in my chat said, "Wet cells."
That's a different thing.
That's not even.
Go on, Kumimono. Gotta giggle out of me.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to understand how they got there. Then I realized it's good. I said I'm explaining the joke.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Real quick, for those who don't remember the next game for the Dead Cells company, that was the one that had that crazy animation of like the young kids getting killed over and over.
Yes.
yeah. It was that one.
It was intense.
So whatever it is, it's gonna be
it was
wild.
It was intense. We're self-serving here, guys. We made the news with our
hold on real quick
interview last week. By the way,
no, the game is not about killing kids. It's a roguelite where the kids keep coming back to life. Yeah, go watch the trailer. It's not as bad as I just made it sound like. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, we made the news. IGN and PC Gamer both had an article with our show linked in it. So that was thanks to the Avowed interview that we did last.
Thanks
week.
Again to Carrie.
Yeah, it was awesome. Having him on.
Apparently, a lot of the stuff we talked about was brand new.
Yeah. That's great. I love when that happens.
Had a lot of Avowed reveals on drop frames.
Yeah. It's rare when that occurs. Co, did you check out Foam Stars at all? Because that game came out and I didn't hear anyone play it.
I have absolutely no interest in that game.
Yeah,
I actually, funny enough, I have negative interest in that game. If I see those two words next to each other, I'm actually like slightly... I will go another direction.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's doing well. I'm curious to know how fast that game bombs. I guess
they did a big sponsored push.
Did they?
They did a big RL party event where they flew out a bunch of people. They did
was it like a foam party?
What do you think, JP?
Probably
what
not.
Do you
That's
think?
too cool. That's too cool.
Of course it was.
Oh my god, they did a foam party.
Of course it was. And then they did the whole Matrix photo booth thing and like the whole night. But what I'm trying to say is they really want this game to pick up. They're trying real hard to make it a thing, which honestly, funny enough, them leaning into that is one of the reasons I was pushed away, because that comment from them, like that comment from them was one of the most like asinine anti-game dev comments I think I've ever heard from a major company.
Which one was that specifically?
Where they were like, we don't want you to talk about Splatoon when talking about our game.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I get you want to be your own thing. But when you take like 80+% of a game and make your own obvious version of it, and then try to tell people, let's not respect where this game came from, that immediately that makes me just want to be like, I want nothing. Like, you are no. I don't care how good your game is. That's a shitty attitude. I don't like it. Like, that's
a weird thing.
Oh, if anything, game devs should come together and celebrate when they build off each other and have big successes. Right? Rising tide, all boats kind of thing. So the idea that they're going to literally copy another game and then be like, yeah, but don't talk about where it came from.
Oh man, it's really silly.
Yeah, not interested, buddy. Not interested.
It's a really silly thing.
That's just not cool. Not cool.
I had forgotten that game.
Somebody says like Power World. Well, Power World's doing it because they don't want to get killed by ninjas. That's a little different.
Italian ninjas.
That's a little different.
They're splitting their time between Zeke and Power World right now. Yeah, that's where
it's one thing to be like, we don't mention this for copyright reasons. It's another thing to be like, we don't talk about this because we want to establish our own brand identity better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a little very different.
Dude, I hope Nintendo comes after me because I could use the publicity. I really could. I really could use the articles headlining like, big bad Nintendo goes after medium-sized streamer Ezekiel the Third, and they're going to spell my name wrong, of course.
They won't have the underscore, and they'll go after the running back. Is he still playing? By the way?
You know the best part about Zeke, the best part about Zeke's drama with Nintendo is it would just be him bending over, going like this, and there'd be a big Pokemon across the top.
Exactly. Yeah, I could see it.
Well, people are saying medium. Am I not calling that right? Am I medium? Am I small? Am I like what would you classify my stream as? Medium? I say medium streamer, like medium size.
I mean, if you're going by numbers, you're still a large streamer.
If you're talking percentages, you're a large streamer.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, there's a less than
medium
single. Rare. What was the latest stats where I think less than 1% of streamers ever see more than 1,000.
I thought it was 100. I thought it was even lower than that.
Maybe it was 0.1.
Okay. Yeah.
It's some crazy small. Yeah, it's like you look at the number and it blows you away.
You're still part of the 1%, Zeke.
Yes,
we all are.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like when I look at my numbers and then I look at like some of my follow lists, I'm like, it makes me feel like a medium-sized streamer. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see the hundreds and thousands of other ones that
you can count the number of creators on one hand that can't look at another and be like, man, that dude's so much bigger than me. Every creator except probably like 10 in the world could do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And even they have the Mr. Beast.
I'll be like, I'm good with upper middle class. Like some people were saying, upper middle class or lower upper class.
You're still shooting. You're not that much of an underdog, Zeke. You're still shooting yourself too low. You're the 1%, man. You're not that much of an underdog at all.
Okay, fair.
In the streaming world.
Brother gets 1,800 people watching him play CD-ROM games, and he's one. He's wiping his goddamn tears with fucking like $100 bills. Like, God damn it. I'm such a small streamer.
I'm doing what now? You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, someone got me $100 bill napkins as a gift.
That's great. Those are awesome. I
was about to say, dude, do you really keep hundreds?
No, I have those. I have those at the ready because I made a joke on
those are awesome.
Someone just sent it to my UPS box. I'm like, these are perfect. I'm going to keep these handy.
Those are fantastic. Holy shit.
They really
I need to get some of those.
Yeah, those are great. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Two more things. One, final news story, at least that we'll cover on the show. A free-to-play Elden Ring mobile game is in the works. This comes from a Reuters report that Tencent is working on one of those, which is kind of weird. There's no other details on it apart from Tencent is working on a free-to-play mobile adaptation of 2022's Game of the Year, Elden Ring. We'll see what that looks like, I suppose.
The part that makes me really, really sad about hearing that is that's a huge IP by a huge company. It's free, which means they're going to monetize the absolute hell out of it. And that means that we're going to get an Elden Ring game with weird mobile monetization. They're going to sell mobile monetization through this. That's just kind of sad, man.
Oh, I didn't realize you had an Elden Ring shirt on. Yeah,
it stings a little bit, dude.
Hey, Co, how about 99 cents to top up your Estus flask? How do you feel about that?
I hope it doesn't do too well.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna do well. I'm sure it's gonna do well.
My hope is it doesn't do so well that all of a sudden FromSoft is like, so about Elden Ring 2, what can we bring into here? You know,
God,
like the kind of the Blizzard approach with Diablo Immortal and Diablo 4. Like what worked in that we can kind of slide into our other stuff.
Yeah, we will see. There was no other news. They also
gotcha for 5-star River of Blood. Oh no. I'm kind of curious to get like, Ouroboros and Peeve and be like, so what do you guys think about this news we're talking about?
Yeah. God. They were asked about the DLC and said that they're still trucking along. They don't have any news as of yet. They referred to it as a very large DLC though, so that was kind of exciting. If we're getting a quote unquote very large DLC for that,
Like and girthy.
Yeah. I guess it would have to be really if you add anything to Elden Ring, just going by the base game, it would have to be like a massive zone with a ton of hours into it. That's at least what I would hope. I think that's what most players would want from that. The final thing that I want to ask you guys that I meant to ask you guys last week, chat, thank you so much for reminding me consistently so I didn't forget in today's show. Did either of you watch the Death Stranding 2 trailer that was shown at the Sony stage? Zeke, did you watch it?
No.
It's 10 minutes long. I don't know if I want to devote 10 minutes to it, but Zeke, I'm back in. I don't know if Ko's back in on Death Stranding 2, but I'll play the shit out of that game because that trailer was the most Kojima bullshit I've ever seen. And it was like, I'm back.
Is that the one where Danny O'Dwyer was tweeting about weird puppets?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They got a stop motion low FPS puppet that walks around on fucking Sam's waist.
Because why not?
Because why not?
It also has like attack mode.
Yeah, and it goes into attack mode like demon mode. Zeke, Troy Baker is in that trailer, and he's looking like a 80s pop rock star.
There is a direct reference they're making.
Yeah, and he's got a guitar that shoots lightning, Zeke.
And Zeke, I have to admit, I think you might really appreciate the reference that he's making. I think you're old enough to be like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Let me find an image of it.
I at first was very confused.
I talk shit and stuff, but like I never had a problem with the story of the first Death Stranding. I just hated the game mechanics. Like the game mechanics, I hated them. Like the driving around and how terrible it was. Blah 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 blah. But that's beside the point. The point I'm trying to make is I'm gonna play it, but like I just hope that I don't have to do a lot of traversal like in the first game. Like I loved the Kojima-ness of it. Like I learned to absolutely love and appreciate Kojima after doing my Metal Gear Solid first time plays of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and so on and so forth. I really kind of understand now. So I'm looking forward to the moments of, yep, that's exactly what I wasn't expecting.
There's so much.
Zeke, I'm gonna test you here. Okay, look at the screen right now. White face paint, black paint around the eyes, a little around the mouth.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give you a couple extra things here. Jams out on a guitar.
Oh yeah, look.
What reference are they making with him? I'll give you a hint. Think old movie.
Well, I mean, it gives me. Look at that character. He's giving me the Crow. He's giving me Kiss.
That's it.
He's giving me
that was it.
Crow. Yeah.
The first one you called, but there's no question that's a Brandon Lee reference. Like he's got like the crow face paint on. He's jamming out on a guitar. Like if that's not a Brandon Lee reference, then it should have been. Because I mean, it's amazing. Yeah,
I'm looking up random.
I hope he says it can't.
Also, it's from a movie with Kojima has a huge Kojima boner over. So, like, if it's from a movie, he loves it. So,
he comes out of a.
Well, if you ever played any Metal Gear games, you know that he just loves putting references to movies that he enjoys, like at length, great length, in dialogue. Just wrote down, and that's the thing, that I love about Kojima is that dude has been around for a very long time. He's still. And so he writes good dialogue, structurally good dialogue, but it's like the mind of a 9-year-old boy, but like a super smart 9-year-old boy. Like he's like, what if what if we talked about this movie that I saw and I really liked it, and we're gonna put that in there, and then if you look at the and then you crouch and you can see some girl in her underwear doing sit-ups. What if you do that? What if we put that in? What if there's a naked lady girl in the locker, and then if you hit the locker, someone comes and gets you? What about that? Like, that's what it's all. That's all it is, and I love it. I'm here for it.
I don't know if there's like a way to take that exact dialect and convert it to Japanese, but I would love to hear that, what that would sound like. Kedu desu?
Oh,
but no, and for the record, for the person in chat that says Ko needs to rewatch The Crow, that's not Crow face paint. There's a difference between influence and copy, bruh. Like, seriously, look at Brandon Lee in The Crow and then look at the face paint on him. No, it's not identical. But I mean, white base, like,
it's the first
things
thing
around the eyes and mouth. I mean, come on now. Yeah. I mean, instantly. Come on.
Dude, I watched this trailer in full and just was blown away by all the absurdity. And now I'm just looking at different screen caps and I'm right back there. Like, what? This is the most absurd fucking bullshit. She's got gloves around her fucking neck that they operating and they do stuff.
They do things.
And there's a
they like cover her mouth and stuff.
Is that Guillermo del Toro, by the way? Is that the puppet or is it someone else?
You know what? Sure. Let's just go with yes.
There's also
no, it's not him. It's not actually him.
I thought it was the voice. Who's the puppet? The voice
by him.
I forget who it was.
Excuse me.
Chalamet?
It's a German director.
What?
No, it's not Timothy. German Turkish director.
Okay.
Is who that is. And then George Miller is in the game.
Fatih Akin?
Yeah. It's just the puppet is based on a big Turkish German director, Fatih Akin. But the voice actor is not him. He has a golden bear. What?
I'll tell you what. I have it pulled up. Thankfully,
is that Alan Wake? Yes, it's Alan Wake.
He's put the link in my chat. I have it pulled up. I'll watch it. I'll watch it a couple times, and then I'll report back next chapter.
No, so the way that it worked is Alan Wake went through the door at the end of the game, popped up in Kojima's game. They did their whole thing, and then at the very end of that, little puppet's going to walk through another door. Alan Wake 2.
Great. It's fantastic.
Didn't mean to spoil that for you guys. Sorry about that, but it's good to know early.
Zeke, here's a question for you. What do you think this thing is on the left that's fighting Troy Baker with an electric guitar that shoots electricity? What is this thing on the left?
That would be a Nintendo copy.
No, hold on. I got it. Ready? It is a suit of armor that is over a pile of 100 and, actually probably about 332 sentient hot dogs.
You were close.
In a suit of armor, with olives for eyes, and it's actually possessed by the ghost of his mother.
You're close.
That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. It's corn dogs.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I knew it was some processed meat product.
Also, it's his uncle, but we're close.
The entire time that the giant mechanized samurai is fighting, you hear baby, like BB from the, you hear that. And so everyone's believing that is BB in a suit of armor.
Or a baby.
Or a BB in a suit of armor.
Maybe not Lou. But funny enough, because during the guy touches the container and has like a moment, and the container is shielded, so obviously and the guy even mentions like, oh, did you get Lou or whatever? So the intention is maybe he's looking for it, it's empty. Maybe. So maybe all the babies got converted into soldiers, and who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe Lou has a mech now.
I was totally out after playing that game and then seeing that trailer. It's just like, sign me the fuck up. I want to see more bullshit.
I am always down for Kojima tomfoolery. I do have to say that there's definitely like, I don't want to say it's Kojima fatigue, because I don't think that's a thing. But it gets to a point a lot of times with Kojima stuff where it's just you come to expect the unexpected so much that you just stop expecting, and you're just kind of like,
you're just along
and that's like
for
a
the
different
ride.
feeling. Yeah. And that's like it's for some of us, not all of us, but for some of us it's a little less fun when you're not like following breadcrumbs, which there are in those games, but not nearly as much. Like there's so many decisions in Kojima games that are meant for the impact. The decision is made for the impact, not for a future payoff, but for that specific thing. So it's a, like, I have to say, I watched the trailer at the end of it. I was like, yeah, that's more Kojima. That's it. There it is. Like, that's it.
Yeah. I really should stop being surprised by it all. You're 100% correct.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it's a taste. And, just like any taste, the more you have of it, the more you get kind of used to it. The more that you're kind of like, so it's, the thing that I'm really interested about Death Stranding 2 is I'm interested to see like what they're going to do with the gameplay. Like, are they just going to take Death Stranding 1 and copy paste it with a few new vehicles?
Yeah.
Or are we actually going to see like some thoughtful growth in terms of what that gameplay is going to be like? So, because to this day, he's still like lords over his gameplay decisions. I haven't heard much about Kojima at all talking about like saying that things should be different or changed. Like, he's 100% committed to Death Stranding 1. I still am not.
Yeah, the gameplay was the worst part.
Like, the gameplay was not the strongest point. Yeah. So I will say it'll be very... Go ahead.
I saw your comments from various chats about what Kojima is planning on after this, and I was like, okay, I'll look it up. And I Googled it, and according to PC Gamer, Kojima is making a new action espionage game after Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
Next generation action espionage is his direct quote. So
that was like their big one last thing moment. They cut to him and the head of PlayStation Games in like a Sony soundstage in Hollywood, and then they had a drone fly out of the soundstage to reveal that they were on like the Sony lot in Hollywood. They had the name of the game Scient there, while also saying like they're gonna have a movie with it as well. So sure. Like, fucking why not, I guess. We'll see how far we are along from all that type of stuff. Probably a couple years.
No, and I feel bad because like my first like real taste of Kojima was Death Stranding, and I was like, God, I don't.
Yeah, you did the inverse, yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. And I went back and played Metal Gear, and I was like, oh, it's the same guy from Metal Gear. They just took like the cuffs off. Like he hulked out with his weirdness after they like, okay, Metal Gear has like physical rules, like in the world, like physics happen and stuff like that. So he was like, okay, then I'm just gonna make the story super fucking convoluted and weird. Okay, they're like, okay, and then he's like, now I'm gonna make my own game and no rules, bitch. Let's go.
This GIF kept popping up, and I feel it's apt. It's gonna look like shit, but quality wise, I feel like everyone was saying that Microsoft and Sony are both just like throwing money at Kojima, and the entire time Kojima just says yes, and then it's just this from Guardians of the Galaxy. Him just going, yeah, I'm gonna make some weird shit. Let's do it. Let's jump in there and be as crazy as possible, which I'm kind of all for. Like, I'm
game on point.
I'm kind of on for.
I'm absolutely, and like as much as I like talk shit about, whatever, Kojima and his pretentiousness and that kind of shit, I am all for weird games making money, because that means like maybe some more investors, publishers, and stuff like that will invest in weird shit, because I am all about it. Yeah. Love weird games, especially like with the demo days that just passed. Like there was a few just like bonkers ones that I was like, fuck yeah, I'm glad these games are being made. Not all of them hit with me, but enough of them do, and the fact that there's a lot of them really gives me hope.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, first of all, real quick to answer somebody's questions in chat. The Avowed interview is on JP's YouTube.
Yeah, for last week's VOD.
Last
30 minutes of the VOD.
Yeah. So that means Kojima is working on Death Stranding 2, Scient, and the horror game with Jordan Peele?
Yep. Yeah, he's got those 3 big projects, yeah.
Those are like 3 defined different genres. That's awesome, dude. That's a lot to juggle at once.
Yeah.
Especially since he's got his fingerprints on them so much.
Yeah. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy for sure.
And I'm sure all 3 of those will at least be good, if not great. Like that's
they'll have hype around them.
Great for Kojima fans.
Yeah, they're going to be
This is
celebrated.
The golden age of Kojima fanery is right now. Like, he's in near total control of 3 different projects and 3 different genres, realizing his vision in all of them. One of them is a sequel to one of his. Yeah, good time to be a Kojima fan.
Yep. We got. We gotta end the show a little early, chats. When I say 45 minutes, that's why. But we got about 45 minutes. Zeke, you mentioned demos. That was kind of the only thing apart from Helldivers to come out the past week. It was. I say it was a slow week. It really wasn't. But demos were kind of all the rage, I think, as the filler for a lot of streams. I know Ko and I both. I think I did a demo day. I don't know how many days Ko did, but Zeke, you did an entire week. You did demo week. So we can kind of jump around there and just talk about some. I'll pull up footage of it. I want to ask you, Zeke, if you played it. I don't think Ko would have, but did either of you play Indica?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What the fuck's going on with that game? Because I've seen trailers for it. I stayed away from it. It's kind of like a scary game-ish. Zeke, can you expand on that? How do you feel about Indica? And I'll pull up some footage of it.
This is one of those games where I was sort of talking about. It's not like ultra weird, but it's definitely in the spectrum of weird. It's okay. I'll just read the blurb to you. The name of the game is Indica, Indika, which someone in my chat, take it for what it's worth, told me like it's basically translates to indicate. Like this indicates something. I don't know.
Okay.
But the blurb says play a third-person story-driven game set in alternative Russia of the late the late 19th century. And they do it with fucking Roman numerals for whatever reason. Where religious visions clash with harsh reality. Indica tells the story of a young nun who sets off on a journey of self-discovery with the most unusual companion by her side, the devil himself. Which, I mean, it didn't seem like the devil himself, but definitely he's talking to her and all this kind of shit. The thing that makes this game stand out, and the reason why people are talking about it or came into my chat and were like, has Zeke played Indica yet?
Yeah.
Is because of the juxtaposition, I think it might be the right word, of like this like beautifully made. Like it is very, very good. Like graphically, it is very good. The facial animations are excellent. You can switch between Russian and English pretty seamlessly because the I don't know, whatever program controls like how their lips move for what language. It's accurate in both Russian and English.
Huh.
So I'm guessing it's a program. But the English VA is really good if you're wondering, like, it's originally in Russian, but the English VA is very good. In fact, I would say like the recording of the English VA is higher quality than the Russian VA. But so I played it mostly in English, switched to Russian just to see. I was like, English is good. But it's the juxtaposition of this game that you're seeing right here with this kind of like steampunky kind of vibe. Like you're riding a motorized, those old timey bicycles with one big wheel and one small wheel.
Uh-huh.
You're riding like a motorized one with like tire treads. Like they're actually like big tires, and it's like steam powered. You can see the little potbelly stove like there.
Yeah.
It's steam powered. So there's that.
Is that
like
the
the
devil?
alternative reality Russia? Maybe.
Okay.
That's the thing. Maybe because don't look at that. That's stupid alert. But it might be him, but also like she gets talked to by a completely different voice.
Oh.
So we're not really sure who, because it's a demo, so I'm not sure they're going to give away what's going on. But there are moments in this game that don't match this. See in the upper left corner there? The 1490 out of 1630.
What is that?
Those are points. Those are video game points, and that's your RP thing that's your experience to your next level.
What?
And I'm not kidding you. There is a level up choice tree. Like it's like
she gets better at being a nun. Does she pray harder?
the more you like explore, they reward you for exploring. So like you pick up like this picture of Jesus, or like you light a thing of incense or whatever, it gives you score, it gives you points, like experience points, so to speak. But when you do it, the noise that it makes is like an old timey like it's like an old like coin noise. And you're like, what? That's fucking weird. And then the music is like this. It's a genre of music that people said. I can't remember if you put it in chat. It's a genre of music that doesn't match either.
Is it chip tunes?
It's actually 80s.
Wait.
It's 80s show
Hip-hop.
jingles.
It's Nunstep. Yeah.
It's Nunstep. There we go. Perfect.
No, it just doesn't match. The music doesn't match. The sound design doesn't match. The fact that you level up and it goes to like a level up screen and it says like you get two choices, like, all right, choice 1 for your level up is called guilt level 4. And it says like every time you level up, you have a chance to gain more experience coins. Or like penitence level 3, because I think they start you in the middle of the game. Like the demo takes place in the middle of the game.
Okay.
And then like the other choice is like you have a chance to gain 1.5 multiplier whenever you get that.
Yeah.
See that? Whenever you get those little rings. And then that's the level up. And then you continue on with this story. The reason why people are talking about it's just very strange that they put this type of music with this type of video game audio design on this very well-made game. And I love it.
So
a
lot of crazy design decision.
Now, the one thing that I don't know if people are talking about as much is there was a part in this game where I stopped to look at this painting because you can see like the thickness of the paint. You can see the stippling of like the canvas underneath the paint.
Yeah.
Like this very tiny detail. Like that's what I'm saying. Like well-made game.
Wow.
But there's a part, if you fast forward a little bit in the demo, look for a place that's switching between like gray and red. This right here. This is like one of the puzzles in the game. And you switch if you're in because you can switch by pressing right click, hold right click to pray. It's like a whole perspective puzzle.
Huh.
And it goes like it like stretches and then it comes together and you have to like do that. You have to switch between those in order to get to the end of the level. And it's really cool, really well designed. It reminded me of Alan Wake, honestly, like a little bit of like Ashtray Maze kind of a thing. But you control it when it does that. And if you're in this red, the red version, that's when the devil is talking to you. He's talking to you the whole time. And then you pray and he goes away. And then you stop praying and he starts talking to you again. So
it's just like real
really
life.
Cool.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So you're in. You'll play. The demo worked. It was successful.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No,
right.
100%. It has things I like. It has a good amount of weird. The game looks gorgeous. It deals with like religious tones, which I'm always into. Yeah. Very cool.
Cool. Indica. Yeah, this one I've been seeing trailers for it for a while. On just kind of weekly. I didn't realize they were putting a demo out, and then when it came out, I was like, well, I got to make sure Zeke at least talks about this because I got to know what the fuck this game's about. So, yeah, that is Indica. Ko, any standouts for you that you want to bring about?
Oh, of course, I just deleted like all of the games off my desktop.
That's exactly what happened to me as well, and I wish there was some. I wish Steam broke it out.
Did you wish list them?
Steams. I wish there's some.
I did. I was actually looking through that. So. I played, I'll just kind of go down my list real quick. I played Breachway, which is kind of like FTL with much better graphics. And instead of managing the interior of your ship, you actually have like this interesting card system. So Breachway was actually pretty cool. If you are an FTL fan, I would definitely say check out Breachway. That was a good one. Also, Dungeonborn is a Dark and Darker like, but it actually does some things pretty well. It does some things not as good as Dark and Darker, but it does some things a lot better than Dark and Darker. So if you are a Dark and Darker player, you may want to check out Dungeonborn. There was some cool stuff in there. I did try the Homeworld 3 tutorial.
How was that?
It's unfortunately multiplayer only. It was actually pretty great. I'm a big Homeworld fan, though. So the thing that was a little bit...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I shied away from it because it was like... Homeworld is a lot. And I didn't... With demos, it was like, I don't really want to jump into I know what to expect from this. I don't necessarily need a demo from it. I guess my question is, was it a lot? Like, what did I...
Yes.
Was I expecting the correct thing? Yeah.
Yes, you were. I played the tutorial, and the tutorial is basically like, cool, we're done. Now go play multiplayer against other people and co-op and stuff. And I was just like, no thanks. So I already know I'm going to play on release. I will say, as a Homeworld player, Homeworld was way ahead of its time back in the day, particularly with like, its full 3D movement and things of that nature. It never really nailed the control scheme because it was just so weird and different. However, in Homeworld 3, they have the classic controls, so if you're used to that, you can use it, but they also have a new modern control that is much more of a first-person-y with some gimmicks and flair to help do the things. It was a little weird getting used to the modern controls, and I arguably was not really used to them yet by the time I was at the end of the demo, but I can tell the modern controls seem pretty cool. I can tell they're going to make playing the game a lot easier and more intuitive than Homeworld 1 and 2 were, once you get the control system down and everything. So it was fun. And like it I went in just to check it out and see how it's coming along. And sure enough, it's got all the components of a Homeworld game. It played and looked fine. And yeah, I played enough to be like, cool, I'm sold. Can't wait for this to come out and play it.
Great. This comes out this year, right? Soon-ish.
I want to say, in fact, it was going to come out, and then I think they delayed it again. So I want to say it's in May.
Oh, it got delayed.
Yeah, okay. I think it got delayed to May. So, but I think that's about where they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I downloaded
like Homeworld.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I also downloaded Lightyear Frontier demo. Didn't get a chance to play, unfortunately.
Oh, I had a great time with that. Zeke, did you play Lightyear?
You guys recommended it to me. That's why I downloaded it.
Yeah, I thought Lightyear Frontier was awesome. The mech farming game. Yeah.
Actually, I think that might have been the last game I played. Oh no, the Serum was the last game I played. Yes, I played Lightyear Frontier. I did.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun. No lie. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then I played Star Trucker, which was Star Trucking.
That game's great.
It was chill. It was just chill.
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did you find the game difficult? And how long did you play? Maybe the inverse. How long did you play, and then did you find the game difficult?
I played it for like an hour, and at first, I didn't know what I was doing. It was a little more difficult, but once I kind of understood what the game was expecting of me, it became significantly easier. Like at first, I didn't realize, you have to back in for your docking. I was like hitting the wrong thing all the time, so I didn't know what I was doing. Like when you're very unsure of how the game works, it was a little bumpy.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I felt pretty good with it. It was things were starting to click.
Did you do a couple quests and all that stuff, or
I did a few. I did a few of the hauling things. I almost got to the end of the demo, like get max level or whatever.
Oh, that's what I don't even know what the end was, because I stopped after about 45 minutes because I was just like, cool, this is great. I like this type deal.
No, I really enjoyed it. This was an interesting spot. I couldn't figure out why the hell this gate wasn't working, and then it took me a while to realize that there were like 3 trucks backed up and no one was going. Yeah. I inadvertently caused a big traffic jam. Funny enough, the way that I fixed that, you can see here, was getting the hell out of the way. And then the guys that were there used it, and then I just pulled up and used it right after it. So, yeah, it was chill. I can see this definitely as like a cozy wind down the day game. Little slow for like a main game.
It's a little slow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but it was fun, and I think the people that like this kind of game will probably really enjoy it.
Yeah, the interior was really cool. Like you have to do the power management and all that stuff, and then losing gravity because your gravity thing breaks.
Oh, Subnautica-y.
Yeah, that's actually a good way.
Very Subnautica-y with the power cells and managing them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all. And then the whole like the idea of being in space for a trucking thing was a little bit fun. Kind of what you're
I
experiencing
love
here.
they just took a truck and just put
Just put
boosters
in-
on it. And they're
Yeah.
like, cool, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. It makes 0 sense. 0 sense. Why would you build
fucking
a space
cool, though.
truck that can't strafe or go up and down? It can only go backwards and forwards. Like, who would ever design and use this? It makes no sense. But it's cool.
It's fucking cool.
So,
That's
yeah, it's cool.
That's the reason it's
And
really cool.
it makes more sense in the game world because it makes it harder to navigate and stuff since you can't just like easily move around. So
Yeah.
it was kind of fun. And then finally the last kind of big demo I played the Tribes 3 demo, Tribes 3 Ascend.
Mhm.
And sure enough, man, I'd been playing Tribes 3 kind of in the closed and like the betas and alphas that they've been doing over the last couple months.
Yeah.
It's always felt okay. The demo feels great. The demo is one of the first times where I'm like, oh, this actually feels a lot like Tribes, like the one I'm from. Like, this doesn't feel like some new take on it. Like, they're starting to get the values adjusted to where it feels like the old game in a newer engine, which I think is what a lot of people want. They don't necessarily want a Tribes Ascend, which was kind of this new fork in this different direction. I think the community has been very, very loud where they're like, no, we want more Tribes. We want that original feel back. And it felt like in this demo that they're making motions to go that direction, which was really cool.
So you're kind of answering the question I had. I look at this game and I feel like they have to find an audience for it because this is very much a game that existed 15, 20 years ago, right? And there hasn't really been anything like it since then, apart from other Tribes games. So did they, in what you're saying, are they finding the medium to both serve the fucking old ass people that play this game plus the like a new audience? Because that's the dream for them, right?
That's the dream, absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like that's the line they're trying to cross. This demo is currently the furthest that it's been swung towards kind of classic feel, and funny enough, it makes it feel more modern in a lot of ways as well.
Huh.
Where it kind of speeds everything up. Everything's a little tighter. Spin fuses are a little faster. Like everything is kind of like, I feel like they're starting to kind of find their stride. Watch this shot. Boom. Nice. I love that. I remember that one. But yeah, no, it's really fun, dude. If you are at all interested in Tribes, I would say definitely check it out. But the big thing about Tribes that makes it so freaking cool is it's one of the only shooters where almost like most shooters take this and switch it, where 90% of the guns are hit scan or similar, and then you've got like the small handful of kinetic weapons. Well, Tribes has always characteristically been the other side of that, where like 90% of the weapons are large kinetic, and it's just as much math as it is aiming.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's almost the weapons that are like instant shot are generally not that strong. And it makes it so much more interesting because like for people like me that I don't have the best twitch, like my reactions are not, COD, they're not Apex, they're not like, click on that guy's head really fast. This game is much more like, okay, let me see my speed, let me figure out his speed, let me try to guess, I know how fast my spin firster is, I know how fast he's going, I know what direction he's going, let me try to get my explosion there. I feel like Tribes games, although they're really fast, are much more like thinking than reaction. Like you have to think so much more about your shots in a Tribes game. And funny enough, that means you're relying less on your reactions, which is great for old people. So
Sure.
I think it's one of the reasons I like the game so much.
Is
Because it very much is like, it's Twitch, don't get me wrong, it's Twitch gameplay, but at the same time, like there's this large cerebral aspect where it's like you can't just click on people's heads. You're not going to get anywhere doing that. And that's fun. I like it.
Did you find yourself in lobbies with people that have been playing Tribes for the past 20 years and just
every so often you find that OG where it's like, okay, you just hit me out of the freaking air with a spin firster for the 8th time this round. You are either hacking or you do nothing but Tribes.
Yeah.
Frankly, if it's the second one, I'm here for it. I respect you. That's awesome. But it's like, oh man, there are some people that are just so good at this game.
Yeah.
That it's wild. And I've been in the Tribes Discord for a long time. following along with the alpha and stuff, and it's funny because there's definitely like some rock stars in that Discord where everyone just knows them as like an OG player who's really, really good. And like I was in there a few days ago, and some guy was like, "Wait, you actually killed so and so? Like, do you have a screenshot?" And it's like, damn, dude.
The frag videos that came out of the tribes community back in the day were some of the coolest ones, because the shots were just like things you can't even comprehend, where they're like aiming a shot for where they think a player is going to go, and it's fucking across the map, and they fire it off, and like 10 seconds go by, then it says, "Oh, you killed someone."
Yep.
Or like flag drop. And you're like, what?
I had one of those in the demo.
Yeah.
And I was so happy about it. I even I fired off 3 shots, and I was like, no chance any of those are going to hit. 3, 2, killed the flag carrier. And
those
I was like,
great. Those are great.
I was like, really? I did.
That's why you played Tribes.
Okay.
That and the skating. The
dude, the
so
skiing
fun.
is so much fun. It is that's the best part, and one of the most iconic things about Tribes is the skiing, and it is so great now. It's really fast, it's really tight. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Demo still
and again,
open,
this is the
right?
demo, so if you want to try it, it's the demo. I'm 90% sure it's still open. They do take it up and put it up and down frequently, so it may be down again.
Yeah.
Very much recommend it. If you're an old Tribes player, like, definitely check it out.
Yep.
Yeah. And as a reminder, if you want to help shape the game, the Discord's super active.
Cool.
So pop in there and give feedback.
Fantastic. Zeke, I think you played, I popped into your stream and you were playing it. Islands of Insight.
Oh
God, is that a good or bad growth?
Well, no, it's a good one, because it's one of the, like, so we did a calculation, and I think I downloaded like over 200 gigabytes, probably like close to 300 gigabytes of demos.
Yeah.
Because some of them are pretty fucking beefy.
Yeah.
And I went through and uninstalled most of them, and that's one of the ones that I kept, because Islands of Insight is a puzzle game, but it's a puzzle game that does not stop puzzling.
It's nonstop puzzling, man. You walk out,
nonstop puzzling,
and there's just like I think the marketing line is that there's 10,000 puzzles in this game. Yeah.
I had no idea this game had been in early access for or whatever. I don't know what to call it, but it's been playable for a while, I guess. And there's just so many puzzles. And when we say that, or when I say that, I guess it's there. You can play it either first person or third person, and you're in this gorgeous, like, floating island world. And it's really beautiful. Lots of colors, lots of weird alien plant life and stuff like that, but peppered in everywhere. Like, literally, you can't walk like 5 steps without running into a different puzzle. Now, when I say different puzzles, I mean, like, there's this one, which is a perspective puzzle. You have to stand in an area where you can see all the pillars at once. That's one type of puzzle. That white and black square puzzle, that's a different kind of puzzle. There is puzzles where things are just hidden around the island that you have to, like, they're like a predator camouflage. Like, you have to, like, be wild around, like, see it out of the corner, like, there's one. Yeah. So there's that. There's also, like, other types of perspective puzzles where, like, there's, like, you see these floating spheres in the air, and you're like, okay. And then you have to, like, back up and get them, like, to make a circle, and you're like, nope. Just so many.
Yeah.
So fucking many.
The other thing too is
heaven.
Those are only like a small sampling, apparently, in terms of the types that are in the game. Because each island is kind of themed to be a, like, specific set of puzzles to an extent. But yeah, the other big thing too, which a couple people in chat are noticing, it's a multiplayer game. And you're in like an entire, so I had the devs join my stream when I was playing it on Monday or Tuesday, or Monday, because I take Tuesday off. And I was like, don't take this the wrong way, Dev, but, like, why the fuck is this game multiplayer? Because you don't interact with other players. Like, you're not watching them puzzle. You're not collaborating on puzzles. You're just you're experiencing like the social aspect of the world. And I kept playing for about 30 minutes and it clicked. And I said, wait a minute, Dev, if you're still here, is the reason this game's multiplayer so when you walk up to a puzzle and then walk away and the same people are still standing there, you immediately feel better about yourself. And their response was, welcome to Islands of Insight. So I think it's like kind of that, but I don't know why it was multiplayer still.
When you said like that you don't collab on puzzles, it's not 100% true because of the hidden object things. Like
you can see people
and help people find like little hidden objects. Now, I don't know about you. Hidden object things don't feel like a puzzle to me. It's just like, where's Waldo? Waldo's not really a puzzle, right?
Sometimes there's a jumping puzzle to get to them, though. In the game, yeah. And there are like different. You get a double jump pretty early, which he just did in the video. You can also just flat out fly later on.
We didn't even talk about the fucking levels up and like you get like RPG, like you get to decide your skill points. You get double jump, you get glide, you get this, you get that. There's a huge skill tree.
It's like Path of Exile
for solving
skill
puzzles.
Tree. Yeah, which is weird.
It's great.
Julia said she has wings in this game.
Julia was all in on this game. You can look like a magical fey creature walking around solving puzzles. It's a really cool thing. It actually, I think, fully launches on the 16th of this month. I don't know if that's early access or 1.0, but the game will be like out to buy in some form. And it's a weird thing. It's like playing The Witness, but seeing a billion other people walking around in the same world. You're really not sure why they're there, but you're kind of glad that they are at the same time. But,
I mean, that does immediately put it into a social experience.
Yeah.
And more importantly, like if you were playing with your friends, it's one thing to see random people running around, but it's another thing if you're playing with like 5 or 6 buds and like those are the people you're seeing all the time, and like that's especially these days. I mean, you can kind of argue that this is going for like a comfort game vibe.
Yeah. So
to bring in multiplayer to that, it's just a win on all fronts.
Yeah.
And the demo felt like a great introduction because it doesn't like give you anything that's like super brain bustery hard right away. So it's
still fun,
nice
though.
Because they give you the goal, like a goal that like goals that you can accomplish, which is the Witness. Like I've heard that bandied about like while playing this, like take the Witness, like not the difficulty, but just take like the puzzles, like they're all over, condense it. Like this is like the Witness, but like in a very much smaller package. Like they're real close to each other, like all the different shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good entry level puzzles during the demo, and you solve them, in a rather quick fashion, and then you move on, and then you move to like the big hub island, because you start on like one of the little ancillary islands, and then once you solve enough, you get this little jump pad, and it jumps you to the big island. You're like, oh, okay, I get it now. The big island hub has a bunch of puzzles, but it also has like it's dotted around with other small floating islands that you have to get enough puzzle points or puzzle bucks or whatever it is to unlock, and it's great.
Yeah, and the map seemed really big. Like, I mean, enough to house 10,000 puzzles in like an environment type deal. But there was, I don't know, 20, 30 islands that I saw in like the opening, and I would expect they could just add to that over time, and have been adding to it over time.
And super kudos, like this is something I want to keep mentioning over and over. Thank you for giving us good motility speed. Like the basic running speed is very fast and good. Thank you.
Yeah. Feels good just to walk around in the world.
Like Talos Principle, like it kind of reminded me of that. Like you really cook in Talos Principle when you start running around.
Yeah. I got stuck. They weren't necessarily hard puzzles, but I got stuck a couple times just from bad brain mentality. Did you get stuck on anything that was like actually super difficult later on? Because I think you've played it a lot more than I did. I don't know like how many islands you went in.
I didn't, but that might be because like I'm a very shiny object person, and they have these shiny objects everywhere. So I'm like, I think the harder puzzles are the ones that you have to like zone into, like the black and white square puzzles.
Yeah.
Like I think that might be the harder puzzles. But these ones, I was like, I'm on my way to the rings. Let me see the rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like I might not have gotten to the harder puzzles, but it didn't seem like it didn't stump me in from what I played.
Okay. Chat's reminded me there was a ranking system, and it was like 1 to 5 ranking, and then there's a thing above that which is diamond and then 2x diamond. So there is like a pretty big disparity between the start and the end, I guess, in the puzzling, and I'm sure there's stuff beyond all of that. But I think the hardest I was doing was like 4 and 5 of the like black and white square type deal.
I didn't get to 4 and 5. I
Okay.
think the hardest one I got to was 3.
Gotcha.
Level 3.
Gotcha. Yeah, those were I think like the most challenging. I agree with you in that regard. Like this stuff was fun, but you could solve it pretty quickly just walking around. And then,
but I didn't uninstall it. So like this is like I'm gonna definitely play more of this. You know, just
it's the type of it's the type of game, like Co said, you jump in with a bunch of friends for an hour and chat about nothing but everything. While just, oh hey, I solved this. Man. I solved this puzzle. Like I figured this puzzle out, man. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's great, man. I flew over to this island and this thing's a son of. Oh, I'll come over there. Let me try that type. Oh, you got like I could totally see that happening. And the devs are also like, the last thing I'll say is when you go to like play, they're very much like, don't be a fucking asshole. Like respect the world that you're going into. There's no way to communicate. You can't type to other players. Are there emotes?
You can emote. You can like, I found the emote wheel. Like you can do a heart. You can do like clapping.
It's very like wholesome. Yeah.
And you can also, I was going to mention this, like, as far as like the co-op kind of aspect to it, like you can plunk down like, markers. Like waypoints. I could see people. Yeah. I could see people, like I could see other people's markers. So I was like, hey, boink. And I plunked down a marker where like one of the invisible boxes was. And I saw someone come up and go, and then like leave. And I was like, hey, I helped.
Yeah. So. Cool. That's Islands of Insight. I think the demo's still up, but like 3 days from now, chat was saying the 13th or 14th is when this game actually like goes into early access, or some version of it goes live. So, did you go into that big pyramid, by the way? I never got into it. Okay. I'm curious.
No.
Curious.
There is so much I didn't see.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's like, it's such a great game for me, but it's also like a bad game for me because I'll never because they give you quest markers and I'll never fucking get there because like there's 50 puzzles in the middle there and I'll just end up stop doing it and forget what I was originally doing.
Yeah. I mean, 10,000 puzzles. That's a lot of puzzles. There's a lot going on there. So cool. Zeke, like I said, you played 200 or so. Any other standouts for you that you wanted to discuss?
Indeed, there was.
Got about 15 minutes.
Yep. I would love 15 minutes. Okay. Put the pressure on. For those of you wondering, the second, besides Indica, like the most asked about did Zeke play games was Balatro, which is a poker roguelike game. Yeah. Where you try and make poker hands. So if you know, like poker hands, like high card, pair, 2 pair, trips, so on and so forth.
This is a big game. Had a lot of buzz around it.
Yeah, and you have to beat a score basically. See the on the big 1200 in the upper left. That's the score you have to beat. So with your hands that you play, you get a limited number of hands. You can see I have 4 hands and 3 discards. So 4 hands played to beat 1200, and then the biggest mechanic of the game is they give you modifiers like a roguelike in the form of Joker cards, tarot cards, and oh, there was another one. Like planet cards.
Okay.
Maybe more, but they are all modifiers to your hand. So if you look in the top left, there's the pink purple Joker card.
Yeah.
It's the 4-finger card. You can see it has 4 fingers. And the reason why that is because my straights and flushes with that Joker card only need 4 cards to make it.
Sure.
So I only need 4 diamonds or 2, 3, 4, 5 to make a straight to get the points to count as a straight. So modifiers like that, you keep getting, and the scores that you have to beat keep getting bigger and bigger. They also have small blind, big blind, and then the boss fight, quote unquote. And the boss fight has like mechanics like you play with your hand face down, or it's just a huge number, or blah blah blah. So it's really fun. Don't let it scare you, but math. There's some math in it if you want. If you got a head for that kind of stuff, there's some math in it that would really help you if you could do it relatively well or quickly.
Okay. All right.
Well, not quickly. It's turn-based, so you don't do it fast. But if you don't mind putting it in your phone or whatever, like, would a straight or a flush with the cards that I have, with the jokers that I have, be better here? And you go, okay, this multiplier, this. The game is actually pretty helpful as far as before you play a hand, it tells you like pre-modifier what you're going to get. So like you play like a flush, it says like 30 with a 4 multiplier. You play a straight, it has like 30 with a 2.5 multiplier. You're like, okay. But then that's where the math comes in, because like some cards, like every diamond you play adds a 0.5 multiplier or adds this many, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of that, but you can definitely sink hours in this game. And I really enjoyed it, and it's just the demo. So
what else has the developer made? Because I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that I'm drawn to. And it might have been the pack art, but there's like something that's happening when I'm watching this game that's giving me a dopamine hit. And it might be some sort of like casino related thing that it looks like a casino game. Cause just looking at it and the way that the cards like fidget and the way that the UI is, is this like a Vegas thing happening to me? Is that what's going on?
It's got a lot of bleeps and bloops and bells and jingles and stuff like that really give you like that. Ooh, I did well.
Yeah, it does.
Every card you play that has a multiplier, it makes a little like pa-tunk, pa-tink, pa-tink. You're like, oh yeah, count up that score. Count it up. It
just looks like a giant dopamine hit in everything that you're doing.
This is what I was talking about. Okay, I'm hopefully I play this flush, and I can play it as 4 cards. The rightmost joker is my club joker. Every club I play, I get extra points. So it'll go like, it does that first, and then it hits the multiplier. Multiplier. Number. Multiplier. Number. Multiplier.
This fucking game.
Yep. And then you get the flames. If you do really well, it goes, the flames over the blue and red multiplier and number. Oh, yeah.
I can't play this.
Super casino-y.
Yeah, I can't. I'm out. This is bad.
That's great.
Is it a one-time thing? Like one-time purchase, I should say? Or does it have any like...
that's a good question.
Any like MTX in it? Any like... Because I'm seeing dollar signs all around, and that's also maybe doing something. Just a trigger.
I did not look in it. Oh, it planned released 8 days.
Oh, it's out soon. Full. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, even those card packs right there is taking me back to like the Magic days of buying a card pack or any card pack and opening it type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a motherfucker. This game's dangerous. I wonder, can you buy it right now? I'm just wondering.
I don't think so.
It's not that I'm going to buy it or anything, chat. I'm just looking to see how much it's going to cost. It does not say it. It just has download demo and releasing Feb 20th. I guess this, according to chat, this has taken a pretty big draw from Northern Lion, who's apparently been devouring this game. So, yeah. Seems like you weren't alone in this, Zeke. It seems to have been
numbers
a big
and strategy
demo.
heads are going to love this for sure.
Yeah. Cool. That's Balatro. What else?
I wanted to mention a game that I really liked, and I'm definitely going to play it day one it comes out, called Crypt Master.
Okay.
All one word, Crypt Master. This was a really fucking fun game, and unfortunately, I was a little led astray, or a little like said it's going to have voice commands, like microphone commands, but as it is right now, they don't work in the demo, so you just type out the words. Now, the reason I like this game is because it's, word guessing game, that kind of stuff. Just to give you an example of how it works, you're a dungeon crawler, and it's grid based, like
Legend
you go
of
like
Grimrock?
up Grimrock. There it is. Yeah, you go up or left or right or whatever. So it's grid based. But you like go to a chest, you type in chest or you type in box, and it opens a box. And then this skull guy, you ask him questions about it because you don't get to see it or anything like that. So you type in feel, and he goes, it's hard. Metal, I think. It's very smooth. You're like, okay. And then you go like, there's a command, remember, meaning ask the guy if he remembers using this or seeing it. Someone goes, oh yes, I used to use these back in my days of blah, 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 blah. And the voice of this guy is just fantastic, by the way. So eventually you're like, okay, it's metal, it's smooth, it's disc shaped, shield. And he's like, yeah, that's right, it is a shield. And then you get a shield for one of your characters. You get 4 characters there at the bottom. And your 4 characters will come upon like monsters in the dungeon, and you type out what they do. Like one of the commands is jab. One of the commands is zap. One of the commands is guard and stuff like that. And then after you get done, you type soothe, because the healer will heal you. And it's a combination of, it's not like Typing of the Dead, where, the words just come at you like rapid fire. It's more of like a figure out kind of a puzzle game. Now you see all the letters at the bottom that are blanked out, stuff like that. They give you clues as to like equipment and abilities and stuff like that these characters can do. And as soon as you have enough words, you can
Letters.
type out, and it gives you the skill. So like, I'm trying to figure out right now, number 3, what that is. And I finally twigged on like, okay, he might be a healer, soothe. And it was like, yep, that's soothe. There's jab. So they get a jab now. The rogue gets like a stabby stab. And the healer gets a heal spell. So on and so forth.
Weird. Okay. That's kind of cool.
It is. It's very cool. And I guess you play as undead. And the sense of humor in the game, it's pretty like
deprecating.
it realizes what it's doing.
Self-referential.
Self-aware.
There you go.
Or aware.
Yeah, self-aware. That is self-aware. Where like you type out fart, and then the narrator, the skull guy, goes like, "Did you just type fart? I can't believe." And he berates you for typing it out. And then you type out like, you go to what is it? Not a shrine, but like it's like a place of a pedestal with a book on it or whatever. And the guy says, well, since you're undead, the god that watches a statue, an altar, there you go. Since you're undead, the god that watches over this thing is not going to help you because you're dead. So in order to heal yourself at this thing, you have to desecrate it. And they just kind of leave it open. So I'm like, aha, piss. Totally worked. Totally worked. Like I pissed on this statue, and the god goes, "You regret this," blah, 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 blah. Kind of fades in the background, and the guy's like, "You did very much. Good job. You desecrated that statue, and here's your healing." So it's got a great sense of humor too, and I just dig it.
Does this game mention any kind of AI being used with it?
let's see.
Because I have to say, like the idea that
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because I have typed words and the voice goes, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Cool. So like, I mean, if piss was the first thing on my mind, I'm sure they went through at the board, like the dev meeting. They're like,
I just want that.
What are people gonna type? Let's type out all the swear words and let's have a dialogue for all of them.
Which I'm guessing is what they did. That's out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking all over the Steam thing. I don't see AI mentioned anywhere.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I was doing just a minute ago. I didn't see anything either. Yeah,
that's cool. This definitely a hidden gem. I hadn't seen anyone talk about this. It seems really fucking cool.
Big same. It seems super unique. I love Grimrock myself, so this is a very interesting take on some very cool classic mechanics we don't see too often.
Art style is really cool too.
I gotta say, the idea of having it work with voice also, that sounds
I'm
awesome.
so excited.
Yeah. Have they already said that that's going to be released? Like voice is going to be on release and everything?
I would certainly hope so because it's in the game. And I tried to turn it on and I was like testing my microphone to make sure. It was like, okay, it's hearing my mic. It's got the right source, blah, blah, blah. And then someone told me it's like, it's in there, but it's broken for the demo. Like, okay.
Gotcha.
But it is a setting in the game. So
cool.
I can't wait. I can't wait to just be like, just lifelining it up. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Crit Master. What else? Any others, Zeke?
I'll just rattle some off.
Yeah,
if you like weird shit, like I do, I'll just rattle off some weird games that really hit with me. Normal Fishing is one of them.
Is it normal?
It's not. It's not.
Great. Let's leave it at
that. This is normal fishing, but there's something else going on.
Okay.
Rami's going to hear that and get so pissed.
I said the exact same thing. I'm like, normal fishing, huh? Hello, Rami. I've got a lawsuit coming your way.
That's a pretty good name, to be honest. It's great.
That is.
Mouth Washing was another one that I really liked. It's a purposefully retro looking, like blocky PS1 era kind of graphics, and it's better than some of them I've seen. Like as far as you can make out shit better, but it's a really weird and dark story.
Okay, yeah, that looks weird.
Yeah. You're trapped on a 5 crew members of the Tulpar are stranded in the empty reaches of space. Oh, that's right. They're space haulers. They're basically like from Nostromo, the crew from Alien. They're just hauling shit, and then they get stranded. But this is the best part of the blurb. The 5 crew members of the Tulpar are stranded in the empty reaches of space, shrouded in perpetual sunset. The last sentence: God is not watching. That is the last sentence of the Steam blurb. And I was like, that sentence right there earned you a play, you a demo play from me. And it was working. It was really cool and weird and funky. And lots of dark tones in it as well. Let's see. Another one that was weird. Oh, Eclipsium was another one that was on the weird side. It's a little hard to look at because of
that's coming from you.
It's just this side of being like they just need to up the graphical quality just a little bit to make it palatable for all. But it's like if Obra Dinn had lots more motion, so it's a little hard to swallow. But it's very strange. You're not sure what's going on. You have one goal to like reach the tower in the distance, and along the way you solve puzzles. And a lot of weird things happen along the way. Things that don't make sense. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. That kind of shit. But if you like weird shit that you don't expect, that's another good one. Let's see. Oh! Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, one of the ones that I saw had a bunch of buzz. I didn't play it. I saw that you played it for 12 minutes. Mullet Mad Jack. Did you not enjoy that one?
Here's the thing with Mullet Mad Jack.
This one.
It ended up being okay. Can you take your time and do the levels like in a skillful fashion?
Sure.
Yes, you can. Can you also go through like I did and just mash right, left, click, shift, and spacebar and get to the end of the level? Also, yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
And maybe that's just a demo. Maybe it requires more skill later. But as it was, like, it was no skill required to get through and beat like the first 5 levels or whatever.
Got it.
So like, I didn't really care for that. Like, I really like Neon White, but
Yeah.
Neon White, it felt good to get it right. This one didn't.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
However, that said, top fucking notch music, top notch like voice acting, graphics, all of that shit, and the anime at the beginning is worth downloading the demo just to check the anime at the beginning. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, the
like, it
art
oozes
style
style.
drew people in.
Yeah, my eyes and ears loved it. The gameplay, not so much.
Got it. Cool. Give me one final one. Shout out, and then we'll do
one final one.
Then we'll do
okay.
shout-outs.
This one has potential, and it's just one detractor. It's called Psycho Fear, which is Psycho Fear. Okay, sure, but it is a horror a horror escape room game with a karma system, and with that means like you go through. You have 20 minutes to solve this horrible, awful, like, and it's gory. It is like body parts and blood and all kinds of like torture and shit like that. So if that's not your cup of tea, totally understand. This has a lot of that, a lot of Saw, if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it has a karma system where you meet like in the first room or the first escape room place. There's a kitty cat, and you see the kitty cat, and the kitty, it says starving cat. Like, oh, and you click on it, it goes, he wants food. And you're like, oh fuck, all right. So you go and find him food, and you give him food, and it's like 3 karma points. You're like, all right, I get how this works now. And then you find him water, and you give him more karma points, so on and so forth. But once you solve that, you go to the next escape room. It's like modular.
Yeah.
It's like one escape room, solve, go to the next one. The next one, this guy is like suspended over like this bathtub full of acid or something like that. And he's like screaming like, help me, help me. And you're like, okay. And there's 4 buttons behind him, and you can save him or ignore him. And you like, if you solve the puzzle of the 4 buttons, you save him, and it gives you more karma points, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
There's 2 things I didn't like, and they're big things. One, the movement has a fucking awful fucking bob. It is unbelievably bad. It is so bad. It almost turned me off from playing.
That's a deal breaker for so many people.
They need to take that out, dude. It's like a burp, 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 burp,
you don't walk like this.
Oh,
what do you mean, Jake?
Dude, I talked about that. We do walk with a bob, but
cadence,
our brains have adjusted to not notice it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's hence why video games, it fucks us up, or at least me and a lot of people, when you have that in the game. So make that bob turn off. And also the movement is very weird. It's like they actually have steps. Like you actually do steps. So like if you kind of stop in the middle of a step, you can kind of like go back because you didn't finish that step forward.
Yeah.
Fucking disorienting. That sucks, dude. The other thing is,
it's so unfortunate when game devs try to be like ultra realistic like that, but it doesn't work at all, and they just waste resources to make the game less enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's rough.
The other thing that I didn't like is there is some like it's a time limit thing, and there's some parts where you don't figure out a puzzle, you just have to find something in a cupboard somewhere. I was like, that's not a puzzle, you know. It's just like the last thing I needed one fuse. Of course, it's a horror game; you have to have fuses. But I had to find one fuse, and I looked everywhere for it, and it turns out it was just in a cupboard that I didn't see. I gotta open up the cupboard, and grab it out. Like, that's taste. I mean, not for me. Like, I don't really care for that. I'd rather solve something that makes me feel good with my brain rather than like a hidden object. But other than that, super great for anyone who likes horror and gore and like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the puzzles, actually, they're not that bad when they are the puzzles. So
cool.
Yeah.
And it's called
Psycho Fear.
Psycho Fear. Cool.
Yep.
All right. That's that. Zeke, I will say you played 200 demos. We didn't cover 5 of the ones that you played here.
Yep.
You should do a stream or make a separate video of you going over them. Chad always talks about how you have the best ones. You should do that. It's easy content. I think people would be into that. Because there's no way that we could cover 200 fucking demos in the show that you played through.
Man, it's just, goddamn, that is just a lot of nonstop talking. And as much as I do already talk, it's still pretty daunting for me.
I get it. I understand.
I want to talk about them for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes each, and that's times 20, times 25.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, here, I'll give you a break. Co, do some shout outs. What do you got going on this week? Where can people check you out?
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Co. As always, big thanks to JP and Zeke. This week I'll be doing, hopefully more Helldivers 2 if I can get it working. But apparently they have kicked me out. I've actually been working with like the community manager and stuff, and there's a whole lot of unknowns right now. There's apparently there's server maintenance still going on. They're trying to fix stuff while they do it, and a lot of people are in my boat where we no longer can get in. So hopefully we'll have something soon. I'd love to play tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. That being said, Helldivers 2 has kind of taken over the stream in a lot of ways. It's a huge amount of fun, and it's just great to play with buds. That being said, we're also going to be doing probably some more Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, maybe some more Baldur's Gate 3 here and there. And then also, this is actually the first time I've announced this, but we're doing a big charity event at the end of the month. This month. My first in like a while. So pretty excited to do that. We'll be talking about more of that in the near future, and that's going to be on the 29th. And awesome. Outside of that, pretty normal week. I don't think we have any big releases this week.
Nope.
And it'll be pretty chill. So probably a lot of Helldivers 2 if I can get it working. Some more Like a Dragon, Baldur's Gate 3, and maybe some other stuff there as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. If I don't see you until then, see you next week.
Sounds good. Zeke, do some shout outs. What do you got going on?
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Thank you to Co and JP for being my co-host on this Drop Frames every week. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at / Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Or Twitch, X, and YouTube, I guess. Or Ezekiel III, all spelled out on Instagram and TikTok. And Blue Sky, I guess, if we're all moving over there at some point. That's Ram. That's my name there. I broadcast every day at 10 a.m. Pacific, or 1 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check me out, I got a really cool game coming up, chosen by the If Then drawing winner. I'm going to be playing on Tuesday and probably Wednesday. I'm not sure how long it is. I can't remember. God damn it. Why won't you open? There we go. Golden Sun, baby. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's what they chose for their game to be played on Tuesday. So I'm going to be checking that out. Mondays I'm off, but we do reruns on Monday if you want to come and hang out. We're doing Harvester. Scott is playing Harvester rerun playthrough. So that's what's coming up for me. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.
Oh, and Blade Runner after this, if you like tabletop role playing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cool. Thank you both for joining us. We'll be back next week talking about something. I'm sure maybe we'll grab a guest and see what they've been up to. The reason we're ending early is on my account because I got to jump into a sponsored stream for Skull and Bones because that game closes in 2 hours and 7 minutes. And I have a 2-hour sponsored stream that needs to be played.
Ooh, squeaky bum time.
So we gotta jump into it. Tomorrow we'll do some more Helldivers. Probably see Co, maybe even Zeke jumping into that with us. We've been playing a lot in the evenings.
Yeah, I hope to play tonight if it works.
Yeah, maybe tonight. And then I think I'm going to be starting a Final Fantasy VII remake playthrough just to get ready for Rebirth later this month. Maybe Monday, maybe tomorrow, probably Wednesday though if we don't. So we got all that coming up. And that's that. Thank you all for being here. The VOD will be up over on youtube.com/hitmejp a little bit later today, probably about 30 or 40 minutes. So you can drop a subscription over there. And it'll show up in your sub box later. We're out. Good luck. Have fun. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.